for an hour. And they kept making passes on the main road.
While this may seem like a random detail, this specific area where Dwayne describes hiding would eventually be revealed to harbor a dark secret. Already, Dwayne's story has been filled with twists and turns, but he now adds a new element. He says on Friday, before he started the mechanical work, Harold asked him to do something.
But now we get to the worst part of the story that I'm dreading talking about altogether because I have a really bad feeling about it again. Like I said, really bad. This thing went from I'm not paying attention to it to really bad, in my opinion, because everything that happened. He called me up. I was working in Gainesville, shift into the 6. He called me up and he said, hey, I need you to go pick somebody up from Gainesville Airport. Okay. I picked somebody up from Gainesville Airport, female. Tried to make small talk with him. They told me basically, and I'm barely even paraphrasing here, shut up, don't talk to the help.
Regardless of her manners, Dwayne says he drove the woman to Harold's where she got out and into another vehicle. He says he never saw her again. So far, in his version of events,
What the fuck
woman
is
who
wrong
called
with this
because her
shit?
vehicle broke down and the woman who
God,
picked
I
up for
hate this
Harold
stupid
are
app.
two different people. However, investigators know that the cards belong to Sonia and that the woman he picked up from the airport is also Sonia. They will eventually confront Dwayne, but for now he says he believes that the mysterious Harold may have something to do with their missing persons case.
What if there's a different person that goes missing every year that is related to that? Because that's up. That's up. And then there was a big thing, and then phone call about money, and this, that, and the other. And we started connecting the dots like me and her did. What if this is some kind of underground thing where they get unsuspecting people, especially like Calvin told me she anyway.
Calvin is the investigator Dwayne spoke to prior to this interview.
What if she signed up for something and they predator these young women or men and then just they vanish?
Yeah, that's interesting. So,
I mean, I have a worse. I mean, especially since he name dropped that through the years that he name dropped like this, and they're making sign of the NDA, but he name dropped that he was storing vehicles for Travolta, Terry Bollea, the Hulk Hogan family,
okay.
and Tom Cruise.
Okay.
What is some kind of Scientology group behind the scenes and going and working on cars, which is a cover story?
To get you involved?
Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm nobody.
After allowing Dwayne to fully explain his suspicions, the investigators decide to reveal their own evidence, including something they know about Sonia. They still don't tell Dwayne her name.
I've been speaking with people who know her and know things about her, and
What's up,
we know
Rodolfo?
that she was communicating with people over here and had the intention of coming over here to end her life. And we know that that was what this trip was about.
What's up, Ben?
This is the reason that the authorities in
Pendejo.
the UK were so concerned when Sonia never
Pendejo.
boarded her return flight home. Court documents indicate that a year earlier, in 2024, Sonia had been planning to travel
Just watching some murder mystery.
she met online in order to fulfill her wishes. That attempt was thwarted and she received treatment. Investigators also have another bombshell to drop. The transactions may have been what led them to Dwayne, but they aren't the only reason they want to speak with him today.
We also
With Potbelly's Pick Your Pair, you choose from hundreds of pairs for whatever you're craving.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max. The best in entertainment in one bundle.
Let's go!
I'm looking for my husband Xavier.
I'm coming, baby.
Somehow, I was beginning to have faith.
No problem, Pendejo.
Next time I treat myself today, I treat myself tomorrow. With the Acorns app, you can take advantage of
Pendejo
the
de puta.
You don't need to be an expert. Acorns handles the hard work for you.
Someone told me that one time. Hue puta.
Hi guys, I'm Macaulay Culkin and welcome to our castle. I've always loved spending time making our house at home.
Somewhere where my queen and I can just chill out and find peace. Royal Kingdom has really helped me unlock the ability to step up my game around the house. You know, once I go doing chores, the next I'm playing. It's my little system.
Well, I live by one wife.
Shut up.
We also know that you were one of the people that were communicating with her.
What was her screen name?
What does that
War.
mean?
I communicate with a lot of people.
Okay, do you communicate with a lot of
You're
people
right about
about
that.
ideations?
We have a lot of, I communicate, I used to communicate with a lot of people that it was, and there was a lot of fantasy roleplay that happened there. But if you tell me your screen name, maybe I'll have a better idea what you're talking about.
Dwayne claims he hasn't had access to his account in months because he was banned for violating the terms of service.
Yeah, the
So what kind of
terms
stuff
of
did you like to talk about?
service.
Hard bondage.
Okay.
Who hasn't violated the terms of fucking
You think that's what
service?
got you?
That's not what got me banned.
There's no way you got
I don't know. It seems like somebody took offense to something I might have said, or like they got on a comment or something like that. And you can comment on pictures with us.
Hi,
We
hi,
had a
hi.
conversation in live feeds or whatever, not live feeds, but comment feeds or whatever. And I think something there might not be banned because there's certain words that you're not allowed to use, and that this seems to be ever growing by the month. But like I said, I haven't been on there for a long time.
What are the words?
Basically anything violent. Anything violent or aggressive, too aggressive. Between snuff types,
What's everybody up to tonight?
other sort of violent stuff like that. I may occasionally have the violent ideations or whatever, but at the same time, it's better left on paper.
So the reason why I'm having this discussion with you is that our missing person is also involved in those types of fantasies and violent ideations.
Well, that somehow doesn't surprise me.
Right?
Especially if you're telling me that I actually had communication, and she was actually communicating with me at one point or another. Well, I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna play, I'm sure we had some right nasty discussions.
And between consenting adults is absolutely okay.
The shit I'm drinking is a little strong. Should be a little lighter than.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, there's on, but yeah, good one.
Yeah. So if she
Salute.
came over here with the intention of fulfilling some of those
Dance.
fantasies, bondage, violent fantasies, I'm not saying necessary, but definitely violent fantasies. And then
Yeah,
at the end of it,
Yeah.
she wants
Put
to
some
end
water
her
in it.
life.
If you're trying to put
Hey man, put some water in it? What the hell? It's not that serious.
me in line or something like that, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's been all about my wife since she damn near died. I have no interest in anything else to do with anything like that with another woman. I barely even have.
What I am gonna do, I'm gonna stop buying. I'm gonna buy more weed and less alcohol. That's the solution for me.
An interest in tying my wife up at this point because she's been through so much.
Once again, the investigators know something they have been withholding until this moment.
But we know that she's guilty, and we know that she came over here.
He's guilty.
To carry out this bondage and fantasies, and ultimately
Throw away
to
the
take her
key.
life. We know all of these things.
Water. Why put that shit on everything? Hell yeah. It's the best topper. If it's strong in the mouth, your kidneys will thank you for the water. Probably. Well, I got my water here as a chaser, I guess. For a little backup.
The FDLE agent discloses that they have evidence that shows Sonia stayed at the Airbnb with Dwayne. With this revelation, Dwayne abruptly adjusts his version of events, now admitting she was with him on Friday and Saturday.
Guilty.
However, he still referred to her by her name.
Yeah.
Things, a lot of different things. We already talked about that, so a lot of
Okay, so yeah, we get, there's a little bit of education, whatever, you know,
Okay.
just to bring you to kind of put them through, okay?
I enjoy Where's the Missing Kids? No one cares
Like
anymore.
language.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just the hands. Okay.
Well,
Anything else?
I know they found some of those missing kids, but yeah, we need a good big update on that, I guess. You know what I mean? Spit it out. Damn.
So you said light choking, so,
Love you too.
and I
Appreciate that.
know this you, so, what does that mean to you? Okay, what part of her?
Yes.
Every part. How she let you know that she wanted it, because there's lots of ways that happens. Right?
Yeah.
With her hand,
Yeah.
and
their face.
And then-
So,
her face. What does that mean?
like the whole thing.
In her interview, Ginger explains that she was aware Dwayne was talking to other women.
I knew he had other girls, quote unquote girlfriends. That he
Sick
talked
fucks want to
to
talk and go home and
online,
beat their kids.
But it was never like, because I was so disabled, I told him
Yeah, probably. A lot of that, too much bullshit like that going on.
I was fine with it as long as he didn't lie to me about it. And so I knew that there were a couple that he was talking to like that, but there was never supposed to be anything physical. They were never supposed to meet in person. It was supposed to stay online.
According to official documents, Sonia left evidence on her computer indicating that she had made a plan and was carrying it out by traveling to the U.S. The investigators now discuss this plan with Dwayne.
So, she talked about dying, having somebody maybe help her. What were those conversations like? How did she say she wanted to die?
About that. Yeah, talk about that. It became very apparent. She was anything like that. I really wanted to deal with her presence.
What did you guys talk about? Because again, everyone has the ability to change their mind, but there were conversations about it, even if it was in person.
Yeah, there was conversations about it.
Yeah, there's too much shit going on. It's hard to keep up with everything, honestly.
So tell me about those conversations.
And she said she had tried many times, and she failed. And she said that it's a really beautiful state, and she couldn't think of a better place to end it all.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. There was no real elaboration one way or another, except for the fact that it became very obvious that I was not about this life. I didn't want it. I didn't want the mess. I didn't want the scrutiny. I didn't want to be involved in any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form at that point. I didn't even want to have sex.
Anything that you did with her that you reported?
Yeah, I wish they would send Doge back in there to start auditing these fools again. And actually, here's a news story I heard today. The CEO of Home Forward, which Home Forward is this company that does like low income housing or whatever to help get homeless people off the streets or whatever. And they were one of those people who helped me get into this apartment. But yeah, the Home Forward CEO, she resigned recently because people were accusing her of lavish paydays and shit like that. Yeah, taking advantage of the system.
I deleted it.
A lot of corruption going on.
Tell me more about that.
I asked her. I told her that I wanted her to tell me what it was that she was there for. Okay. And I wanted her to go into detail, and she basically just kind of walked up on everything. And I ended up deleting it because that was absolutely no use to me.
Despite deleting it, during a later search of Dwayne's phone, investigators located the disturbing video he recorded on October 11.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me about why you're here.
Well, I haven't been corrupted yet. That's all I got left. Staying corruption free.
Because I have an awful past that I had to survive.
Yeah, but why are you
Since
taking off the person?
2003.
I've crushed everyone who ever loves me.
I've cheated on my partner. God, the amount of lied to everyone about this is overwhelming. Yeah, there was so many men leaving my houses. Well, it was more just that I didn't have the guts to say no because I needed to be like, I don't know. This was a story to me. Crazy on.
Yep, you too. Sleep well. Good night.
Not responsive very much, and I don't know what the problem was in that regard. I think she's just disappointed because I didn't know.
In official documents, investigators noted that Sonia appeared subdued in the video, rarely looks up towards the camera where Dwayne would be positioned, becomes visibly upset with tears in her eyes, exhales deeply, swallows hard, and is very hesitant to answer Dwayne's questions. The video would reveal much more, but for now, the FDLE agent confronts Dwayne with a chilling revelation.
I know that she is not alive anymore. I know that. You know that. And I want to find her.
No, I don't know that.
I think you do.
I don't know that. I suspect that. I strongly suspect that.
That video, you took it to protect yourself, but you didn't really need to take that video to protect yourself because I knew she asked you to do it. Does that make sense?
It does, but at the end of the day, I still don't know where it ended up. I still don't know what happened to her.
Though Dwayne is adamant, the investigators have uncovered disquieting evidence. According to court documents, an hour prior to picking Sonia up at the airport, Dwayne bought paracord, gun cleaner, 50 feet of rope, and a shovel.
It does not make any sense that right before you picked her up, you brought rope and a shovel and
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Help me make sense of that. Like, why would you buy a
It was
shovel?
actually a thing that I was already there. I was actually planning on doing it. And the timing was just really retarded on my behalf because I actually thought about it. I realized how bad and stupid I knew that was. And
They caught this guy with rope and a shovel, and he's still sitting there lying like he didn't fucking do nothing. This is crazy. Rope and a shovel. Man, what? Grandma's used cucumber. What? Sent it to where?
I actually absolutely
What?
not.
Why am I sitting here talking to you?
Because you want to
Hey
find
man, your grandma's not gonna be happy at you getting rid of her cucumber like that.
a missing person.
She has a name. What's her name?
You want to find someone.
I want to find someone.
This is the first time that Dwayne has confirmed that the woman he spent the weekend with was Sonia Exelby. Whether it's this acknowledgement or the other evidence, it seems that Dwayne has hit a breaking point.
So if I'm to follow along what everybody's saying here, I think that I can't afford a lawyer, but I think I'm going to need one at this point.
Okay.
Now, I have to be
I
able
can't
to protect
afford a
myself
lawyer.
to some degree. And, you know, once I have a lawyer.
Well, you need a
present,
public
I think
defender
we can-
then, bro.
I can with them, I think we can continue.
They're free.
Okay.
Following his request for a lawyer, Dwayne is left alone. However, he soon requests to go to the bathroom.
You want to use the bathroom, right? So you are detained at the moment, based on everything we talked about, and we got some stuff we're following up on, so we're gonna handcuff you in the front, and we're gonna walk you to the bathroom.
After this small reprieve, they leave him to stew in the interview room, eventually checking if he'd like something to eat.
I need more than I need food. I need an update about my wife.
Okay.
We were on our way to take her to a bronchoscopy this morning when they stopped me. And then I was told she was admitted. And
Oh, so she's at a hospital.
please,
Okay. See, I don't know anything.
I
Okay.
don't.
Okay. I'll see what I can find out, okay? I'll go grab like a Whopper, no pickles and fries, and I will get an update on, see what I can get. I can't promise you anything, okay?
How about a couple Whoppers, bitch?
Please,
I'll see what I can find out, okay?
thank you.
Despite his
Can't bring me just one Whopper. I need like 3 or 4, man.
concern about his wife, Ginger was dropped off at the hospital for her appointment
3
without
or 5,
issue.
man.
Following the delivery of his food, Dwayne appears to realize the severity of his situation.
Yeah, last time I tasted so good. What's it doing?
Whether it was the hot meal or the hours on his own, Dwayne has made a decision.
I want to speak to Miller.
You want me to call him down through here?
I want to speak to Miller.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Dwayne,
Okay?
did you need us for something?
Yes. What's that? Has he got a minute? I'd love to talk to him. Well,
Okay.
more you than you, I think.
Okay.
So that's good.
Well,
What would you like to talk about?
I want to recant basically my entire statement.
You want to recant your entire statement?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't stand being a liar. I can't stand it.
Dwayne states that
Appreciate you, Rodolph. What do you... never mind. Here for you too.
the entire story about receiving a call for service from a woman whose car broke down and the elaborate tale about Harold was not true, and that
I'm here for
Harold
the
does
world.
not exist. He claims this was all a cover story he devised with Sonia. He decides to retell his story, starting with him meeting.
Check out my bitch ass cat. She's been sleeping all day. What's wrong with that animal? Sleeping ass.
Being Sonia online.
And her and I started talking.
Wake
and
up,
whatnot,
motherfucker.
And she was telling me about all of her stuff and things like that. So I started kind of mentoring her. And this was probably about 2 years ago. And I wanted to make her like that. I did not. They got to a certain point this past year, sometime in the past year, where she actually offered me to help me with, I owe the IRS a lot of money. And she offered to help me with that. She offered to help me with that. And I said yes. And from there I started mentoring her a little bit further. And she seemed to be getting better.
Dwayne tells him that he owes almost $10,000 to the IRS. Yet Ginger explains that their
What's up,
finances
Jimmy?
have not been an issue.
yeah, it was really nice. We were even able to afford weeds into the suburbs out of the ghetto for the first time in my life.
However, in a video Dwayne posted to his YouTube channel, he discussed the concept of debt.
We are struggling, being crushed under interest rates and debt that we can't afford to pay.
She was supposed to bring cash. She wasn't supposed to bring cards. She was supposed to bring cash. Because, was you crazy about it?
They'll return to this subject, but for now, Dwayne then details what he calls mentoring Sonia.
I want you to work on this. I want you to do
You
that.
too,
That's what I
Rod.
was telling her.
Peace out, man. Have a good one.
And I kept instructing her.
I'm just posting some clips right now. Kind of bored. Catching up on all these murder mysteries.
Better. A little better every time. She
What to
feels
catch
better.
up on?
And of course, her husband was obviously appreciative of the attention. You know what I mean?
However, this didn't last.
It didn't work.
It didn't work,
It didn't work. It worked, but it didn't.
just temporarily.
It was a Band-Aid. So I didn't do that, you know, after a period of time.
Do you want to talk about what happened Saturday and Sunday?
I can't really talk too much about that, but you can ask questions, and if I feel comfortable answering them, I will.
Is it because of this promise that you made to Sonia?
Yeah.
Explain to me how did Sonia ask you to make this promise? What did she ask you?
She did not want to be found. She did not want to be returned home. She wanted to be gone. Gone.
Okay.
So you feel like you would be breaking that promise if you told us where she was?
I can't confirm or deny that, but I can't break my promise about anything regarding that. I can't tell you where she went, and I can't tell you anything about it.
Since he refuses to discuss what happened to Sonia, the investigators instead focus on what occurred during their time together.
So you said that you had some light bondage. Can you tell me about that? Because sometimes bondage, there can be injuries.
There's probably a few bruises
Okay.
at her insistence.
There's a reason the investigators are clarifying this detail.
What's this on your face?
You've beaten me.
Was that what you wanted? Was that what you asked for?
I guess it's truly speaking.
The rest of
I feel like I'm in a front row. Check that RGB technology. Now we hosted.
You said the Whopper is the best burger in America, when made right. So with your feedback, we've perfected every bite, so that every Whopper is made your way and never smashed. Because they're...
The rest of this disturbing video may hold the key to revealing what ultimately happened to Sonia.
So, smacking on it.
From back.
Okay, smacking on the face.
She had me smack her face a couple of times.
Okay.
Around the same time that Dwayne recorded the video of Sonia, she attempted to reach out to an online friend through Discord. According to court documents, the message was long and at times disjointed, but Sonia wrote that the person she was with made her record 3 disclaimer videos and read a letter to her family because he thought it was funny.
She definitely made it very clear that she wanted really rough, aggressive. Right.
Okay.
Sonia's message goes on to say, "I'm sorry, he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it." She writes that last night was so bad and he's in the shower but I'm locked in and there's no signal in the middle of nowhere. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew. Her message ends with her saying, "I'm so scared. I'm so broken and in so much pain. All I can do is lay here, and doing what he wants makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up." Chillingly, during this same time, Dwayne was also in contact with his wife, and even called her on the evening of the 10th around 9 p.m.
He called me to say goodnight for like 5 minutes.
Though Ginger doesn't reveal anything else about this conversation, the message Sonia sent also came up in Ginger's interview.
Oh, and they're talking about her sending some message or something somewhere saying she changed her mind, going back and forth, the yo-yo, back and forth and back and forth. Because of fear. Fear is going to kick in. You're
Yo-yo's up and down,
to survive. The fear is going to kick in, and you're automatically, it's exactly why you can't just hold your breath until you die.
Sonia's Discord message also indicated that the person she was with wouldn't let her leave, and they always had a gun on them.
Did she ever do anything during the time that you spent with her where it seemed like maybe she had changed her mind?
No. Actually, she got really upset with me because I quit. I was not into it whatsoever, and I quit. And I didn't want to sleep with her. I didn't want to play Bobby Chains with her or anything. I just wanted to be done.
Dwayne then finally explains the truth behind the transactions, which led the investigators to him in the first place.
She still wanted to help me out financially, so she had me in the one card over and over and over again because she swore me down there was money on there. That's not a lie. She swore me down that there was money on there, and then when you got down so low, she's like, "You son, I don't know why there's nothing on there." And then we ran the other property, and she was extremely short of what she promised. And we go to the side from the IRS just to get that way too.
How much was she going to give you for the IRS?
About $4,000.
And she only ended up having maybe $1,200? And how did that, I mean, it seems to be pretty, like that's pretty impactful for you. You're expecting something that may cut your IRS debt almost in half.
Yep.
And then she doesn't have it.
It even further deteriorated the movie. As far as I know, as far as I understand, I think everything else has to be within the current. Okay.
Here, thank you for calling us back and clearing the air.
With his new story established, Dwayne is once again left alone. However, the investigators return once again, this time with news for Dwayne.
All right, Dwayne. So, I want to let you know that I am arresting you for the credit card fraud, right? For charging that money and lying about charging that money.
I don't really understand what's going on right now.
You're being placed under arrest for credit card fraud for using Sonia's cards, okay?
I mean, okay. I'm a little confused about literally everything else, though. I feel like that, I don't know. I feel weird about the whole thing. It's a few things.
I know it's a lot. That's why I said process, think about it. You can call me.
And some things ain't adding up there. You're charging me for credit card fraud?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More charges coming, right?
I don't know. I was just telling you, like, right now, you're getting charged with credit card fraud.
Okay.
Do you expect more charges coming? Or do you expect something different?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm guilty as
I mean,
hell.
is there something you want me to charge you with?
You impounded me. You impounded my vehicle. I have no idea what's going on with that.
You good,
I'm
man?
even gonna get that back. My wife is, for all I know, stranded somewhere.
Just chilling, having a drink, watching some murder mystery. What you up to? How you doing?
Okay, I mean, credit card fraud. Okay.
I mean, if you want something else, let me know. What do you want me to charge you with?
Charge me with.
This dude's about to be, yeah, he's pretty much fucked. What a dumbass.
Go home.
Despite this request, Dwayne is not allowed to go home. Though his charges would eventually be adjusted, for now he's arrested on charges of the fraudulent use of credit cards and unlawful use of 2 transmission devices and taken to jail. Though the investigators have claimed that they believe Sonia is no longer alive, they are still actively looking for her. This search brought them to...
What kind of work is it? Yeah, I hated my old job too. What's the worst part about your job? Is it just the hours, or is it your bosses or something? Cleaning carpet. I'm not working. That sounds kind of chill. It's just you and the carpet, man. I guess, I don't know. I actually watched some Instagram reels where they clean carpets and then they post it on Instagram as like a ASMR type thing. Kind of interesting.
locate an area of disturbed...
Just clean the shit out of that carpet till there's no more dirt left.
...with a white floral dress, matching the description of Sonia's dress.
Well, I hope your job gets a little better and less stressful.
Sonia Exelby. During the exhumation, a label for a shovel matching the one purchased by Dwayne was located in the grave. The shovel was recovered from Dwayne's garage and when tested gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. The major DNA profile matched Sonia. Following Dwayne's arrest, investigators were contacted.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, if you, maybe you'll find a better job or something if you don't like that one.
About his case, but not by Dwayne.
It's hard to find a good job that's, you know, if the hours are good and the bosses are chill, then I don't know. But good luck. I hope you with that.
May came forward after he had a series of conversations with Dwayne. He describes what he told him about his case.
He was in business, but not necessarily business, but he was in the business of like people who didn't want to leave anymore. He would help them kind of like assist.
A similar discussion came up in Ginger's interview.
Because back when I was sick, before my transplant, I got really, really bad for a little while. And we talked about it helping me end it. Because I didn't want to wind up a vegetable.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Sleep here, chill here.
It occurred to me just the other day, actually.
Yeah, no problem, man.
That when Sonia started talking to him and started breaking down and crying and saying she can't handle it, she can't do it, she can't do it, I wondered if he saw me.
What day is it? Thursday the 30th. What the hell? Oh, so tomorrow's the 1st? Not tomorrow, but tomorrow.
to all those monitors and all those machines just barely staying alive and miserable and in pain. And I'm wondering if maybe he just couldn't watch that happen again to someone he cared about, and he caved to helping her end it.
And this is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece.
What the fuck?
Big savings are here during our Declaration of Steel sales event. Get a new 2026 Ram 2500 Bighorn.
This shit's crazy. Wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Robert Stafford's wife. What'd you do to celebrate?
0% APR for
Or, I mean, what are you gonna do to celebrate?
36 months, plus no monthly payments for 90 days. Back by...
Almost done posting clips. Hey, they got a new shark movie out called Deep Water. Looks kind of cool.
Say it.
I needed to be beaten and suffer because I'm such a piece of...
Trimble literally thinks he's Jesus.
Good, good. You're not being forced to say that, right? So are you getting what you wanted? Are you pleased? Are you happy?
I think it took her 2 years to talk him into helping her leave this world.
In his interview, the inmate says that Dwayne did not seem concerned about his case and discloses that Dwayne told him he had a contingency plan.
It's like backup, just in case he may have to get rid of something or like do something in case the case started closing up around his neck.
Knowing that Dwayne had potentially set up a contingency plan, investigators took a look at his Facebook messages. There they can see that he sent his friend a photo that was later deleted with the message, "We'll need this back in 6 months if this storm passes over with no lingering fallout. Please, for the love of shadows, don't lose this box. These are very precious and valuable personal items." While serving a search warrant on the friend's home, Dwayne's friend revealed to investigators that he'd received a package from Dwayne containing an engraved knife and sheath that he purchased for him, and a bracelet. He then sewed the knife, sheath, and bracelet into a small black fabric bag. The blade of the 7-inch knife was engraved with the words, "Dork Wharf, pointy end goes in the other guy." The friend explained that the engraving was him making fun of Dwayne's use of the Dark Wolf name online. In his interview, the inmate tells investigators that he asked Dwayne about Sonia's death.
How did she die? Because now, how he
Oh,
said,
Lord.
what it made you believe it was an act.
PS5?
You know,
No, I might get one eventually. Soros. Oh, okay. No, I just got an Xbox now. I'll put that on. I'll look that up. Soros.
To die. Kind of describe that. What have you been consenting to here today?
You mean the way that you're talking about killing me?
You consent to what kind of treatment beforehand?
Yeah, I really need to get a PS5. There's a lot of games I'm missing out on, like God of War and shit.
But the last day or two, what has your treatment been? What did you ask for leading up to that?
I can't remember. We've talked about so many different ways.
A color-changing test was conducted on the knife recovered from Dwayne's friend. It returned chemical indications for the presence of blood. The DNA profile matched the profile from Sonia.
he was like, it wasn't easy. You know, it wasn't like just one done.
An autopsy determined that Sonia's cause of death was 4 sharp force injuries likely caused by a knife. When her body was first exhumed, investigators noted that she had 4 stab wounds on her left side and a curved placement between her back and under her breast.
Yeah, I used to be pretty much a PlayStation loyalist back in the day. PS2, PS2 Slim, PS3, PS3 Slim, PS4, whatever, Slim or whatever. And then I sold my PS4, which I kind of regret. And bought an Xbox because my friend had one. But yeah, I need to get back to my PlayStation roots.
The manner of death was determined to be homicide.
Now you're being coerced? They're being forced into this.
But he did tell me he was sorry, and he doesn't, I don't think he regrets it, because it's hard to watch somebody go through pain like that, and to be too scared to go yourself. I can understand it. I believe it was honorable.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong. This was this woman's wishes.
He's not really the monster that everybody is thinking he is. I think he really actually cared about Sonia and didn't want to see her suffer anymore.
As he suspected, more charges were indeed coming. Dwayne Hall has now been indicted for murder in the first degree and kidnapping.
What's up, Harry?
He has entered a plea of not guilty, and the case remains ongoing.
I got to post something, Rocco.
That's how it ended? Really? Can't believe it. The Peter McCormick show.
Right now, there's a right-wing civil war that's...
CCTV captures girlfriend's last moments. What police find next to her.
This is 23-year-old Kayla Sadowski heading out for a date. Tonight,
she ain't coming
Right
back
now,
from
there's
that
a
date.
right-wing civil war that's going on. You have the dialectic between the left and the right, which has gotten even more polarized.
I feel like there's a fight for the soul of America right now.
Politics is informed by...
I chopped off her head. Oh no, why'd you do that? The moment cops realize fellow officers are...
The calls didn't say anything. She said...
Senator has no idea her friends are plotting her murder.
They're dead. That's why they're not working. These two are not working.
This is 23-year-old Kayla Sadowski heading out for a date. Tonight, Kayla is expecting romance. What she doesn't yet realize is that her date has very different ideas. In the days that follow, police will receive tips from multiple witnesses, but as inconsistencies mount, investigators realize each one has their own motive to see Kayla dead. Detectives will find themselves struggling to separate truth from deception and witness from killer until a single video exposes the full, terrifying truth.
You're fucking done now. You threatened my kid. Said I was she begged for mercy, and you didn't show her it.
The fellowship you have is broken up. Everyone's talking, including your wife. We smoke in the arena. We know everything.
All I heard was stop. Boom, boom, boom. What? It's like a gang or something? No, it wasn't a gang. Steve called it a family.
The following is based on official court records. Most of it has never been seen before. On March 2nd, 2023, a group of teenage boys exploring an abandoned building make a shocking discovery. A young woman's body brutally murdered and surrounded by candles and gang markings.
I'm not looking either. You want me to get close up for you? Hey, all right.
Wait, am I moving? Hold on. Yes. Kick that door off.
By 10 p.m., 6 officers are pulling up outside of the abandoned estate. The body has been found inside the Boysville Juvenile Delinquent Center, a long-abandoned complex that has become a popular spot for gangs and drug dealers. Spanning 40,000 square feet and with no power throughout, officers will need to stay on high alert. At this point, there's no telling who could still be inside. Inside the building, 2 teams move
12th
through
grade
vandalized
together.
rooms. Somewhere in this
We would
building is a
sneak
dead
off
woman,
to the back
but they
of the
have no
class
idea
together and
when she
tickle
was
each
killed
other
or
until
if
we
the
shit
suspects are still on the
ourselves.
premises.
I dropped out before 12th grade, so you must have somebody else. But sounds like a fun time. Maybe we could recreate the memory tomorrow. Hit me up.
Officers have located the woman's body on the floor of the disused gym. A fingerprint scanner identifies her as 23-year-old Kayla Sadowski. At first glance, her death looks like it could be the result of a drug overdose. But some small and disturbing details will soon put that into question. Officers notice candles beside her body, and she's covered in paint.
Because then that's how you burn away instead of doing dope, and then she overdoses or she fucks off. I can just tell you there's no candles anywhere around here. I think that's blood in her head, like she got hit or...
What's a chosen one?
Yeah. That's not blood. No. It's like bronze.
What did they choose you for by chance? Out of curiosity.
It's gold. It's all over her face, her arm, her neck, her shirt.
A medic team will soon confirm their suspicions. Kayla had been shot twice in the back of the head at point-blank range. The execution-style nature of the killing, together with the sinister evidence at the scene, suggests to officers that this was a calculated act by a deeply disturbed individual. Though just how disturbed, they can't possibly imagine. Kayla's distraught mother, Paulette, urges officers to investigate 43-year-old Stephen Bales. Kayla met Stephen shortly after his release from a maximum security prison. What followed was a turbulent 2-year relationship marked by arrest for domestic abuse and Kayla's estrangement from her family. Paulette also provides crucial information.
If I shit myself, you would have heard it. Believe me. Stay tuned later. I'm gonna have some beer shits for you. Real sloppy.
Kayla's movements the evening of February the 15th. What they will learn will confirm Paulette's worst fears. This is Kayla Sadowski in the elevator of the Rosler Street apartment building 1 hour before she would send her phone a message. Surveillance footage captures her crossing the parking lot and walking northbound. Soon afterwards, a black Mercury Milan appears and Kayla gets inside. It is the last time she will be seen alive. Officers now believe the driver of that vehicle is Kayla's killer, and Stephen Bales owns a black Mercury Milan. It looks like an open and shut case, but it's anything but. When officers contact Stephen for an interview, they learn he is on an extended honeymoon with his new wife, 25-year-old Narina Cherry. The couple married on Valentine's Day and left early in the morning of February the 15th. Stephen's honeymoon conveniently places him away from the scene on the night of the murder. In an attempt to verify his alibi, police make another disturbing discovery. 5 of Stephen's roommates have also left town. Only one remains, Stephen's 24-year-old daughter, Sierra Bemis. Police call her to the station for an interview. At this point, they have no reason to suspect her, but that's about to change.
So do you know Kayla Sadowski?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about Kayla.
We just hang out all the time. Just chat.
Can you wink at me again, like you used to before the fame? Give me one of these.
Who is she hanging out with?
People that I didn't know.
Like who?
She was with person named Steve.
Steve Bales?
That's all I get.
From the start, the interview has taken a bizarre turn. Police already know that for the past year, Sierra has been living with her father's.
How about a double wink?
Stephen in his one-bedroom apartment, along with 21-year-old Bryn Smith, 25-year-old Narina Cherry, 33-year-old Kaylin Ramsey, 28-year-old Alex Fico, and until January, 23-year-old Kayla. 7 people crammed into a single-bedroom apartment strikes the officers as unusual, but it is far from the most disturbing part of this living arrangement, as they will soon discover.
Why did it bother you that she hung out with Steve Bales if you were living with Steve?
He's a fucking juggalo.
He was like controlling
He was controlling who?
her.
Okay. What would you do to be controlling?
Always use my first aid car.
That's why you never hang out in a house full of juggalos. You might end up in a fucking interrogation video.
Or take everybody out of hand.
Take your money?
Yes.
And was that as a form of rent? Or another reason?
Any other reason he wanted to work.
Okay. And what about Caitlin? What was so bad about Caitlin? We're talking about Caitlin Ramsey, right?
Yes.
What was so bad about Caitlin?
She was being pretty, always mad about some stupid stuff.
Like what?
Because Steve and Carrie used to talk and her and Caitlin didn't get along.
So Caitlin and Kayla didn't get along?
Yes.
Why not?
Because they were.
If you do have a fascination with shit, you can just give me a little subscribe, and I won't tell anyone about it.
Fighting over Steve.
So were Caitlin
Well, I got the message.
and Steve, were they romantically involved?
Yes.
Okay. And Kayla and Steve were romantically involved.
What the hell's up with your name? Emma's Nails on a Tuesday morning? What the fuck does that mean? Can't just gloss over that.
Yes.
And so Caitlin, you're saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, was
Tuesday morning, eh?
jealous of Kayla.
Yes.
Okay. And
It
how
was
do
2
you
days
know?
ago.
Because I heard him talking about it all this time.
Heard who talk about it?
Caitlin, she was on the phone talking about it.
With who?
I didn't know.
And what specifically did she say?
That Steve and like Kayla, she was gonna fight her and all kind of stuff.
What about Narita? What was her take on Caitlin, or Caitlin's take on Narita?
She didn't really care.
Who didn't care?
Yeah.
Narita didn't care about Caitlin
No.
being romantically involved. Did she care about Kayla being romantically involved?
Despite her attempts to mislead police, Sierra has just given them critical information. Kayla, Kaylin Ramsey, and Narina Cherry were all romantically involved with Stephen and sharing the same bedroom. The unconventional situation had been a constant cause of conflict, with Kayla often at the center. Police records show that both Kaylin and Narina had filed multiple complaints against Kayla. It appears Stephen wasn't the only one who wanted Kayla out of the picture. And like Stephen and Narina, Kaylin has conveniently left town, leaving behind only a deeply disturbing digital footprint.
If you go after my son, I will definitely get you.
But before we get to that, cases like this remind us that dangerous people can crop up anywhere, from your dating life to your inbox. These days, online scammers are working overtime, conning, hacking, stealing identities, and even blackmailing people. And with our digital footprints bigger than ever, almost anyone can access sensitive information from our phone numbers to our home addresses. One of our team members here just had a run-in with a scammer who called him about a delivery and then used that information to hack his WhatsApp. If that wasn't bad enough, it happened to be where he kept his passwords, vital information that's now in the hands of some seriously bad actors. That's why we're throwing our support behind Incogni, the sponsor of today's episode. Incogni is a personal data removal service that automatically erases your information from data brokers, shade directories, and people searching sites. With their brand new custom removal feature, you can also request removal from anywhere you just don't want your data. No complex forms, no unanswered emails. Just paste the link into your dashboard and Incogni will render you invisible, because if they can't find you, they can't harm you. Get 60% off their annual plan at incogni.com/beyondevil and use the code BeyondEvil, one word, at checkout. This is Kaylin Ramsey and Stephen Bales in a voice message sent to Kayla a week before her murder. It's one of dozens of messages sent by Kaylin during the month before her death.
Her nails were covered in shit? I don't know what to think about that, man.
Be the mom that
She was live streaming with shit nails? That's a good way to get views.
I am. Yeah, she'll never be the mom that I am. I'm more of a mother to my kid than she will ever be.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
I tell you what,
true,
baby,
true.
bring my kid in her
Chris.
mouth one more time, I'm going fucking at her and I want answers as to why you fucking threatened my son. Now tell me why you fucking threatened him. He's only fucking black, you dumb. of me. But I tell you what, I ain't gonna lose. I got fucking custody of him too, you dumb. And who are you to threaten someone else's fucking kid?
Oh yeah, you're cooked.
You're fucking done now. You threatened my kid.
Yup.
You done really fucked up.
Kayla had responded to one with, "I'm not scared of you, Kaylin." Maybe she should have been. A search of Stephen's car and apartment uncovers a trove of incriminating evidence. Kayla's identification card, numerous burner phones, and candles matching those found at the scene. Most haunting of all is a handwritten will for...
Well, you're gonna remember her forever if you never change your name again. Remember them crusty shit nails?
Kayla Sadowski. Police are now certain one of Stephen's roommates murdered Kayla. Officers also catch a glimpse into the bizarre world Stephen and his roommates inhabited. Scattered everywhere were jackets, clothing, phone cases, and other items, all branded with the words, "The Grim Reavers." In a notebook, police find wedding plans for Stephen and Narina, referred to as Grim and Lady Grim. This revelation, combined with a growing body of evidence, points to a crime unlike anything officers have ever seen. And unbeknownst to Bryn Smith, by the time he arrives at the police station, officers are just a few clues away from uncovering the full, terrifying truth.
So I am Detective Mike Peterson. This is Detective Jordan Lambert of the Michigan State Police.
The truth will be set free.
Heard you had an exciting afternoon. I want to sit down and talk to you, okay?
This is 21-year-old Bryn Smith at an Ohio police station.
It's called CCTV Captures Girlfriend's Last Moments. What police find next is horrifying. It's on Beyond Evil's channel from like a month ago.
After allegedly escaping a month-long hostage situation with Stephen.
Catching up on all the crazy shit I've been missing.
Going through all this thing. Been trying to run away. Okay.
Crazy how many people are out there actively committing all these crazy acts of evil. Shit all over their hands and built like a... You can't see this guy on the screen right now, but look at the size of that animal. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking creature. Look at him.
Look at me. I'm a fucking animal.
But that's not the reason he's there. He tells detectives he has a recording of Kaylin Ramsey confessing to Kayla's murder. For investigators, the video could be the breakthrough they need, especially given what they have uncovered about Kaylin. Bryn tells the detective that the...
I wish I was a fat guy. Who cares about...
You went to bed automatically.
Hey, did you hear that guy, Chud the Builder, got like banned and shit?
Went back to the apartment. Next day.
Thoughts on David case, if you know what D4VD is. Well, I'm gonna call him David because I think that's what he's going for. And I don't know how to say his real name, but yeah, sounds like some weird kid. And you know, I'm not surprised he killed some lady. Sounds like he's guilty, and you know what I mean? I don't know what else to think about it. But I knew some girl, like a month ago, some girl was like, this guy David's my favorite singer, but he killed some girl. And now he finally got in trouble for it, so... It just goes to show that bitches have terrible taste in music and in dudes in general. And that's a fact.
If I said no, I was
What's up?
possibly could have hurt.
You?
Stephen finally ordered Bryn to drive them back to Monroe, only to find the apartment boarded up.
Okay, so you arrived 2 or 3 p.m. at 3200.
Yeah.
Okay, then what happened?
Forced me and his wife to stay in the car.
Okay? And how did he force you? Again, I'm not questioning you, I just need one to understand.
Forced as if, like, if you would have left, you could have possibly been hurt. I didn't want to take no chances.
So he forced you and his wife to stay in the car.
Hey man, David's guilty, but free Diddy. It ain't illegal to get your freak on, man.
With implied threats.
That's all I know.
Yeah. Okay, so we're still on the 11th, about 3 o'clock. He finds his apartment boarded up, is that correct?
Yeah, super pissed.
I mean, where did you find out he was super?
Free Diddy, 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 free Diddy. You're my doctor? Okay. That's cool.
Okay.
That was the case.
Okay. And then, so, when you see him boarded up, what did you do then?
I didn't do nothing except stand there. He freaked the fuck out.
Okay.
Started kicking it. You mean my fucking house? Sure. All types of shit. Finally went outside. I did not follow him. I was not getting close to that.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a minute. I sat at the door. I went outside. 10 minutes later, he's calmed down. I asked him to take me somewhere.
2 years?
And now I'm here.
Okay. And where did you run to?
I'll have to hold you to that, Mr. Hair Doctor. I think my hair might be longer than ever in that time.
I don't even...
What's up, Nebula? What's so okay about that? What's so okay?
know the address. There's some lady, they probably have it written down. It's just some old lady. I didn't know. I just ran up to her house, started banging on the door. Can I call the cops? Can I call the cops? Can I use her call the cops?
Get the girl.
She was like, yeah, sure, here. Get her out of the hospital.
Yeah. Dude's sus. That's why I don't even fuck with any of those young ass kids. He sounds like a... I don't know, man. Yeah, he sounds like he's guilty. Nothing much else to say about it. What's a dingleberry? It's in your asshole. But I'm not drinking dingleberries tonight. I'm drinking blackberry lime.
Okay. Do you know Tina Sadowski?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about her.
My ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
I lived with Steve for about 4 or 5 months. She was already living there when I came around. Around Christmas time, he kicked her out.
Drink hair
for
potion.
A incident that they had.
Like some Harry Potter type potion. That sounds good. Blackberry lime looks delicious, but it's not. I actually did a review on this earlier. Hey, I was when I first moved to Oregon, I was in Clackamas. Cool area, I guess. Yeah, I mean, seems like a red flag. And there's probably a lot of other singers like him that are red flags too. So a lot of those young impressionable women need to watch out. Why would one waste time here? What does that mean? Doctors make $300 an hour? Well, what does that got to do with you? Are you saying you're a doctor? And yeah, there's plenty of doctors in my stream, except they're all taking shits while in between surgeries. Most of my viewers are taking shits, but a lot of them are doctors.
You think I'm gonna let those 16 others? 16 other people? Yeah. Kill is not me first. Right, my son?
Bow ties, tuck your shirts in. Well, picture this. If I do go bald, I'm gonna just go full, what's that guy's name? Voldemort. So you're not gonna be able to tell the difference between me and Voldemort once I'm bald, if I do go bald. Have you been up to anything cool? Nothing too cool. Just drinking a little hard cider. Mr. Dinkle. Who's that?
So that's what I'm just trying to prove that we're innocent because it cut off.
Yeah.
How'd you get there? How'd you get her there? Got a white man? Where's the man?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I'm not cut out to be a doctor or a veterinarian either, but cheers to the people who do that kind of work.
Where'd you get the van? My friend's van. My friend told me to get her and we drove over there.
The rage bait dude. Oh. I don't consider him a rage baiter. That's old Jaquarius, man. Jaquarius saved my life in Vietnam.
Did your friend know you were going to do anything?
Yeah.
It was correct.
Alright.
Because it's all falling on us.
The video has officers intrigued, but not for the reason that Bryn hopes.
So if you want.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I am too.
Okay. You'd like to. Okay. Where were you at when you were recording that?
We were far away in Florida.
So you were in Florida. When was that recorded?
In Florida.
Where, at the apartment?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was on mine.
So you say she was acting very funny. What does that mean? Like, how did you figure out she's acting funny?
Because before we left, she was even at the wedding, she was the DJ, but she was not right. Nothing was right about her that day or the day before. She was always shaking, pacing back and forth. She never used to do that. She was an always quiet person.
Look at the size of this animal. What in the fuck? Is that... What the hell? I don't even know what to say about this guy. Just want to observe him. Like a fucking animal at the zoo, eh? Ew!
Just like so. That. Well, what was the? You know.
I've seen The Boys. It's good. Daredevil's okay. Not really my style. I'm not a big superhero guy.
They're uncomfortable. So I was interviewing where I'm living because I don't want it to be unsafe.
You mean when you? The body hadn't been found yet.
I don't know. I haven't watched many shows lately, and when I do watch stuff, lately I've been catching up on like 1920s and 1930s movies and shit.
In his version of events, police are prepared.
Yeah, I'm checking out The Boys every day, if you know what I mean.
Detectives already suspect.
We got some information that you actually.
The Boys sounds like my Friday night.
In Christmas, is that true at all? Yeah.
Cold one with the boys.
Now, have you talked to
Huey from...
Talked to her since then?
I'll look it up.
Now, and I'm just asking, would it surprise you to know that she recorded a conversation that you had with her?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with what conversation I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. There's a conversation where you're talking to her and you talk about being at the scene of
Yeah, I could see a resemblance a little bit, I guess.
the Louisville.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see this?
I don't have it with me right now, but
I'd like to see that.
okay.
Because
So are you denying that you've had that conversation with her?
Yeah, because I was never there.
Okay.
The recording is by Bryn's aunt, and it's not the only shocking evidence to have been uncovered. Kayla's phone records show that her last phone call on the night she was murdered was to...
This is the best shit on the internet right now.
Peckerwood, time to play Ooga Booga Doogie Doo Harry Pot Turd. We got a new student. I want you to show him around in sheet. Welcome to Hoodwarts, Peckerwood. Time to play the knockout game. Shit.
Yay, the knockout game!
This summer, Netflix presents just a slight reinterpretation of your favorite. I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come.
Posse! Tech 9 single-handedly taught a generation the caribou loot recipe. Okay.
Bryn The call followed a lengthy and romantic message exchange initiated by Bryn a week before her murder. By the evening of February 15th, Kayla...
Oh, that's cool.
Date with Bryn, who had arranged to pick her up at the Rosler Street Bridge at 10 p.m. Confirm it was Bryn behind the wheel of Stephen's Mercury Milan. Police pull CCTV footage from the nearby Circle K. The footage shows Bryn in the driver's seat. In a tragic twist, while Kayla had been waiting for him, she changed his...
Yeah, I guess I gotta catch up on the boys, because I only really saw the first season.
Bryn read, Bryn, I want you for who you are. Kayla, promise? Bryn, promise. Kayla, oh babe, forever and always, no matter whatever. The detective now confronts Bryn. So far, Bryn has been cooperative, but not anymore.
Bryn, you hanging in there? Here's the deal. Bryn, there's absolutely no doubt, and I mean there's absolutely no doubt, that you have not been honest with us and that you were involved in the killing of Kayla. And when I say that, I'm not going to tell you you're a bad guy. But I do want to get the human side of the story. Because there's absolutely no doubt. Because understand this, hang on. Let me explain. No, wait, hold on. What's that? Okay, so understand this. You don't want to answer your questions?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I heard bad things about the second season, and yeah, hopefully they end it good. And all that.
Okay.
With Bryn in custody and a statewide manhunt underway for Stephen and Marina, detectives turn their attention to Kaylin, who has returned to Monroe for an interview.
Okay. Do you know Kayla Sadowski?
I knew of her. She was one of my friends at one point until I moved out here 3 years ago and lost contact. Last contact I had with her was just shortly before whatever happened to her, and it kills me. I had just talked to her about maybe the day before, or maybe a few days before she had passed at the grocery
Fifth
store.
season is out now. I heard it's not as great as people were hoping.
Around
Wow.
Valentine's Day.
They've been going through the seasons pretty quick. Yeah, I got a lot to catch up on if that's the case.
Just like me, outgoing, laid back, calm, give her shirt off her back to whoever needed it more than her.
I probably would be caught up on some shows if I wasn't spending all my time watching these murder mysteries and shit. I've seen Invincible, but not much of it. I think The Boys is more interesting.
Remember a lot alike.
Okay, did you have any conflicts with her?
No, I've never had a conflict with her at all whatsoever.
Was there a time where, recently where she accused you of hitting with her mouth?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Hell yeah.
It's something I would never do. I don't.
Donut operator's dope.
Understood.
Anyone you talk to about me will tell you I'm such a sweetheart.
Okay, I believe it. I do. And I appreciate you coming here today, I really do. And did you ever have an incident where you and other people confronted her at the mall in Monroe?
No, I can't guess.
No.
Kaylin's goal from the outset may have been to lie to every question and build herself up at every opportunity. Both attempts are about to backfire. After giving Kaylin ample time to incriminate herself, detectives prepare to play the confession video. Since receiving it, they have made a stunning observation. Stephen Bales and Bryn Smith can be seen in the reflection of the phone. When Kaylin says the words, "in a white van," Stephen pumps his fists. The gesture leaves little doubt. Bryn and Stephen deliberately set her up to take the fall. For Kaylin, this could be a lifeline, if she can explain how she was drawn into a false confession.
If I told you they recorded you saying that you killed Kayla, would that surprise you?
Are you serious? Because I would never kill anybody a day in my life.
So it's spy video.
Well, if they're trying to set this on me, that I had nothing to do with.
Well, let's watch you, and I want to talk to you.
Casey on this song.
At Edmund Optics, access all the optics you need. Click, buy, deliver. Discover the difference at Edmund Optics.
I love Ren and Stimpy. Hell yeah, man. I almost bought a Ren and Stimpy plush not too long ago, but I don't really need any more of those things. I just want some.
There's no explanation.
I do want to get some Ren and Stimpy merch though.
That's all a lie right there.
Okay.
They made me say all that.
How did they make you say all that?
They were sitting there before they left. And then I guess before they started recording me, they were rehearsing it with me without me even knowing it.
What do you mean they were rehearsing with you?
Tell me to say all this stuff.
Sort of a log scene.
What did they tell you to say?
Exactly what was said in those videos.
So tell me about that whole conversation, because I guess I'm not understanding, because if I knew someone were dead, right?
Right.
Hypothetically, and if someone were saying, hey, I want you to say, we're going to be talking FaceTime, let's rehearse this.
The woman on the
I want you to say you
screen.
should.
Holy fuck, bro. You probably can't see her that well. She's hideous. I'm gonna pass on this one.
Is that logical for you to say, okay, yeah, let's have a game? That's not really logical. And I don't know that anyone's going to believe it. And again, this is your chance, because you can, I will not make promises, but this might be your chance to help yourself and say, all right, look, this is what happened. Because there's no doubt.
I'm being truthful.
Chillin, there's
How about I buy guns and I buy silver bullets? That sounds cool.
no doubt you know more. There's absolutely no doubt.
I told you everything I know.
What? You would suffocate under her. That is an honest statement.
I know nothing else. I seriously don't know anything else.
There really is no logical
The
explanation.
only explanation I can think of is they're trying to set me up.
Kalen's just made a fatal error.
Sucker. That's because you're not wiping right. Gotta learn the proper technique.
Her story makes no sense, and officers are convinced that she is more involved in the murder than she's willing to admit.
And if you want to take the fall, you can, but that's not just. Because I don't think you planned it. There's no way you planned this. You got it in over your head. Chillin.
I'm looking at my lawyer.
Sounds like you need some Bengay. Rub some Bengay on that bad boy.
Alex Fecco has admitted to supplying the murder weapon. Police have a full confession from Stephen's daughter, Sierra. Backed by witness statements, burner phone records, and forensic evidence, officers pieced together the chilling truth. Kayla's death was the result of an elaborate conspiracy carried out by 6 people, individuals who just weeks earlier had been her closest friends. What follows comes from the final.
Is it even possible to masturbate in a cold shower? Is that a thing?
Story of Kayla's murder.
I think your blood... I think the cold water would just restrict.
He started talking about it
Hey, now I gotta try it. You challenged me.
was beginning of February.
I'll just take a bunch of pills before I try it. As a workaround.
Do that, but unfortunately I do not.
Did he say how he was going to do it?
He said he wanted to shoot her.
Okay. Then what happened? Did you report that to anyone? If I may.
No, I did not. And I should have.
Did anyone, Bryn, Sierra, or you say anything about when he said that he wanted to kill you?
I said we shouldn't do it.
Challenges on acid, weed, and drink. Try to
Anyone
get
else?
one off.
No.
Kaylin doesn't realize that multiple witnesses have already named her as masterminding the plan alongside Stephen and Bryn. 6 people were assigned a role. Bryn would catfish.
Man, it's gonna cost them more than $100 just to get the acid, weed, and drink. Come on, man.
Acted as lookout. Narita monitors police scanners from the apartment. According to Alex Fico, Kayla's murder was a wedding gift from Stephen to his new bride. Bryn now admits to messaging Kayla, but he denies setting her up.
At some point you said, hey, I'm gonna go pick up my friend Kayla Sadowski.
No, I said, oh, I got a text, hold on. I'm gonna go show this to Steve. I showed it to Steve, I said, yo, Kayla's texting me. Okay, cool. And then I go back out to the living room, he texts me back, she says, oh, I got your chocolates, tried to FaceTime me, I didn't accept it because I was high as balls. I was smoking pot. So she's like, yeah, it's my phone call, like, I have to talk. She's like, no, I love you, you're a good friend. And I hang out. Steve makes me.
So what's the conversation when he says, okay, here's the plan, I'm getting in the backseat, we're going. What was the plan, what were you gonna do with her when you got there?
I didn't know what was happening.
Hold up, I gotta wipe my ass real quick.
Okay.
That's the thing, I didn't know they were killing me.
No, not in there yet, you're getting everything.
Like in the car?
Yeah, in the car. What did he tell you?
He got in the car. When we got in the car, he said, I'm gonna be on the floorboard. You don't say shit about me, and I'm gonna be really quiet. You're gonna take her when I told you to. When we go to that place.
Did he tell you to take her then, or did he not tell you what the place was?
Something smells good.
He told me as we were pulling up.
Something smells good.
So as you guys are pulling up, he's hiding in the backseat, and he tells you you're gonna take her with.
I want what I'm cooking.
Yeah.
No stopping, no eating, no drinking, no
No,
nothing.
she questions me when I pass the house.
When you pass which house?
The apartment building. When I passed the apartment building, once I turned on the narrow road, she asked me where were we going, and I told her, I'm just going to get high, because I really didn't know what to say at that point.
Okay.
Because I didn't expect any question to be asked, because I don't do that shit. So they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna go get high right here outside this building, I'm pulling right here, and this is where I'm gonna get high.
So you're gonna get high behind the building?
But the other participants tell a different story.
That's a pretty good price. I should have stocked up on weed now that you mention it for the 420 deal. I just bought dabs and I didn't even buy very many. Oh well.
They say Bryn dropped Stephen and Kaylin and Sierra at Boysville before picking up Kayla, undermining his claim about Stephen hiding in the car and threatening him.
Where did you go pick her up at?
Off Rossler Bridge.
Okay. So off the Rossler Bridge.
Bro, I'm not ready for summer. I don't even know how hot. It's so hot in my apartment right now. And the weather's not even hot outside.
And where were you guys at when you went to pick her up?
I'm not gonna
We were
make it.
at the place.
How did you get there?
Bryn dropped us off.
Okay, so Bryn dropped you, Sierra, and Steve off at what place?
I forget the name of that place.
If I said it, I don't want to hear what, don't disagree with me. But was it Boysville?
I think so.
So let's go to what happened next, right? So you pull in
I pull
to
in.
Boysville as directed.
Yeah.
You stop, turn on the home lights, turn everything else out. It's pretty dark except for the front of the car.
And I rolled up a joint in front of her, so she thinks, okay, you actually get high. I rolled up a joint, and I sparked it. I asked her, so what I did, she said, no. Cool.
She used drugs.
No. She smoked weed, but it was very rare. That's
How
why
often you smoke?
I smoked.
Okay.
So often. So she was like, no, I'm good right now. Okay, cool. So I hit it a couple times, I put it back out. I got out, she follows.
So
Suicide silence.
The car.
and she followed you.
Yeah, I got out because it was getting way too smoky in there. I couldn't handle it no more.
Okay.
'Cause I have asthma. So I
Oh, okay, I feel you. Oh, I didn't know you were local. Yeah, I like Mike's Drive-In. Good place, delicious.
Where did you walk to?
Oh, I love Mike's Drive-In. Boy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, boy.
Bryn said that Steve then pulled out a gun.
You said you put the gun up to Kayla?
He put it up to her back. But before he put it to her back, he pointed at me and said, don't you fucking leave that going nowhere.
Okay.
Just get in the car. So at that point, I got
You got in the car. Okay. So he puts the gun to her back and then he takes her.
I need to get some dabs. Fucking. This cider sucks. Pineapple blueberry milkshake. Ooh.
There's the bill.
Yeah, they got. I love all the different flavors of milkshakes they got. I think I like a butterscotch milkshake because you can't really get it that many places, but I like all their flavors for real.
The gymnasium part or wherever she was at,
Should I go to sleep?
and that's when Steve is shot.
Up to you, man. if you're tired.
So when they arrived, did Kayla see you?
No.
Did Kayla see Steve?
No, she saw Steve because she yelled out Steve's name.
Okay.
Oh,
And
Lord.
what did she say when she saw Steve?
She said, Steve, please don't.
Everything went quiet and you left. Where was Sierra at this point?
Sierra had already gone back up to the car. She left her room.
Where?
She left the room that we were standing in.
Okay.
If it was dark, were they using anything for lights?
I think Steve had the flashlight on his phone.
Okay. So, you and Sierra were in the same room?
She was in the room across from me.
Okay.
So what happens next?
About 10 minutes of after sitting in
Peanut
the
butter
car, Connor
chocolate.
was stop. Boom, boom,
I'm not
boom.
tired.
Steve, and then nothing. And then about 5 minutes later, Steve came out and got in the car. You want me to keep going?
Well, why were you there?
Ice cream and shakes.
He wanted me there
Nice.
with him.
For what reason? What was?
You're speaking my language, man. I love a good shake. And the closest place I live to right now for milkshakes is like Shake Shack on Burnside. And they don't have that many flavors.
And then what happened? You said you all left.
20 hours straight.
Okay. Did he say anything to you?
He said, don't say anything or...
Hey man, you can't force yourself to sleep, but once you lay down and you're, once you sleep, you sleep. If you make it, you make it.
I'll kill you.
After the shooting, Stephen refused to talk about what had happened.
What do you think happened to Kaylee Sadowski inside those 3 gunshots?
I believe she was shot.
Okay. So you believed who killed her? All right. She believes Steve killed her.
I stayed up till like 7 or 8 a.m. last night, and then I slept till like 2 p.m. So my sleep schedule's pretty weird right now.
How did they force you to make those videos when they were in Florida?
It's very easy to coerce them and persuade them.
Okay.
I'm very easily to be manipulated.
Okay, so explain to me though. I mean, they're several thousand miles away, and how would you be coerced at that point?
They can tell me to say what they want me to say before they start recording.
You're alleging that you were forced to make those videos when they're in Florida, and then almost immediately thereafter, you're in Lakeland.
I wanted to take the chance to get out of Michigan while I had it before he got back. He told me, you're going to say that you killed Kayla because she threatened your son.
Okay.
And that you killed so many other people.
Okay.
Which I've never killed anybody a day in my life.
Okay.
So why
True.
why are the videos of
Code Blue
Kayla
Cam.
saying that she shot this girl?
That's what's up. I love Code Blue Cam too. Yeah, Code Blue Cam is more exciting than this type of show, but I like all of them. I like all those different shows. Yeah, but good night. Talk to you later.
How did those come about?
I'm gonna tell you that.
I wish I had some dabs, then I could set a time to go to bed, but right now I'm just winging it.
So we were in the apartments, and remember how I told you
Need to get some dabs tomorrow, I guess.
I confronted Steve, like, yo, why'd you do what you did? You know? Well, Kaylin was acting weird after I said some shit like that. After he went in the room, about an hour later, that whole day, Kaylin acted really weird. Didn't seem right. So when we left for Florida, I called her on an iPhone. You've seen the videos, it was on a call. And I interrogated the shit out of her. What you got is what I got.
Okay, so you're telling me there's no editing to any of those videos?
No. I don't even know how to do that shit.
Okay, so she's basically confessing to a crime that you know for a fact she did.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically, she's taking the rap for somebody else.
So does it make sense to you that she would confess to a crime that you said you witnessed Steve Bales do?
No, only if she was threatened.
Okay, so did you witness any of that?
Yeah. And that's one of my beliefs because I was threatened by him.
All right, let's do this. You've given me some decent information.
When
is the first time on that day that you were threatened by Steve Bales?
Early in the morning.
So tell me about that.
I didn't do the dishes the day before. He told me if you don't do the dishes, I'm gonna cut your fucking hands off. That was the first threat.
Okay.
I looked at him and I said, you're a piece of shit, you're not gonna touch shit.
Okay.
But I did the dishes, you know.
Okay.
I mean,
And did he start you with a knife or gun or anything at that point?
well, we always, every one of us carried a pocket knife. Everybody that lived in the house had the same type of pocket knife.
Okay.
Which was a little weird. But everyone in the house had the same green pocket knife.
Okay.
As you see,
You have the same green pocket knife?
Yeah, as you see, it was
How do you guys all have green pocket knives that are the
well,
same?
we also had green bandanas.
What? It's like a gang or something?
No, it wasn't a gang. Steve called it a family.
Okay. So you have a family, you guys dress in green and wear headbands and carry the same kind of knives?
Apparently.
The day after the murder, Stephen, Kaylin, Bryn, and Sierra all went back to Boysville to hide Kayla's body and disguise the smell of decay with perfume and tanning lotion. Alex, meanwhile, disposed of the weapon.
Did you guys go back to the scene?
Yes, Steve had us all go back.
Okay, so who all went back?
Steve, myself, and Brent.
And what would you do when you were there?
Steve had us cover up her body
With what?
with a curtain or something. And then a few other pieces of scrap that was laying around.
Okay.
Lordy.
Do anything to her body?
Greg dumped some stuff on her body.
What did he dump on her body?
Some tanning lotion and some car smell spray stuff.
Goof.
Okay, why did he dump that on her?
I guess to hide the smell of the decaying body.
It's
Both
silent.
Kaylin and Bryn have described everyone's roles in the killing,
I like the silence, yeah.
evidence to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. So who else was there?
Steve. So why is he not in jail?
Who else was there?
Steve.
Besides Steve?
And
You're not the
Kayla.
only one there.
And Kayla.
And who else?
Nobody.
Yes, they were. There's you, they were.
Like they say, silence is golden.
And you, again, it gets
The
that.
only people in the car that I was in.
And I know we're getting a little, I'm not fucking with you. I'm actually
It's
working
getting
for you.
fucking, it's angering me.
I know.
Because I'm telling you, the only fucking people in the car that I was with was Kayla and Steve.
Yeah, but realize there's other people there.
Okay, and were they already in the building? If so, I didn't go into the building and I fucking told you that, so I don't know.
We believe in little things, which is why we're introducing women's true Western fragrance.
Got his ass dead to rights. Guilty. 55 years behind bars. And get his ass an exercise routine. Get his ass a personal trainer.
Would you understand? I told you, we're on that scale. We're on that scale. The shooters and the main planner are the ones that I want, right? The people who
You can comment and I will reply, but if you don't like the silence, I'm not sure what to say about that. You know, people come and go and they, type when they have time to.
Yeah, this is you. It's your Facebook.
But yeah, some people just watch me and give me likes or something. Who knows? Who knows in this wacky world we live in?
But driving through the Boysville and walking around the building is no different here. It doesn't put you any closer here, because you didn't pull the trigger.
Exactly.
How do I make the prosecutor believe the lies, like you were threatening all that stuff?
I'm really not tired though. I wish this had the same effect on me as my beautiful dabs.
You and Steve. See, otherwise, what?
Yeah, I like streaming and, people come and go, meet new people and shit. Some people talk about wiping their ass. Some people talk about shit fingers, all interesting topics.
From you, can you hear me? Steve Bales. Dude, you got the phones, Bryn.
But really at the end of the day, when we're not talking about shit fingers, it's really just my life and your guys' lives and everyone else's lives. The first 30 times you puked on stream was funny. Now it's like a drunk at the bar. I don't puke on stream. Do I? Well, I'm not going to puke tonight. Cleat silence, pitch black. That's pretty cool. I like the pitch black I'm a big fan of Pitch Black too.
Oh my god, you're such a kid.
So you mentioned that you were not romantically involved with Steve.
Well, most of the time I got my neon lights on, so it's not pitch black, but whatever.
It's from her Facebook. It says Steve. Can you explain that?
Yeah, man. Like I said, most of my viewers are taking fat diarrheas, and I would not know, except for the ones that tell me they are. You know. But it only makes sense. Most people are on their phones when they're on the toilet. And then they scroll past my stream, tell me about the consistency of their shit.
So I would call you baby. Or I do so.
How consistent is it?
That's not something I would normally say to someone who's not my significant other.
I know you did.
I only want to hear about beer shits where you're pissing out your ass.
No one's going to believe that you were just a passive person lurking in the shadows as they walked by. And if I'm being honest, just like we told you before,
cheers to that.
We have multiple indications that you and Steve were in a relationship. Okay? Multiple indications. And again, here's the problem.
Get him to leave me alone.
Here's the problem, and so I'm sure you see it too. You have all these lies, and there's...
Man, I like these videos, but they always take forever, bro. Like, get to the fucking point. Is she getting arrested or not? Jesus Christ.
I mean, I miss that girl, but she's a handful. She's like, me and her, we always argued all the time. About what? Just anything. Like, she'd get jealous if I'm talking to somebody. Like, if I'm talking to a cousin that's a female, she would think I'm cheating on her. And then she would threaten me, like, she would kill me. She pulled a gun out on me and Ryan about a few months ago. But then we found out it was fake. She said it was fake.
By Brian, you mean, right?
Yeah, Brian.
Princess.
She was always my queen bee. She was always, and all the girls' friends that I had, they already knew that that was my queen bee.
So you really loved her?
Yeah, I really did. And I still do. And Marina even knows that. And she would always get mad and jealous about it, but I mean, she was homeless. She had really nowhere to go. So when I was with...
What the fuck? Bro, check out this watch. Apparently Jackie Chan owns a $5 million watch. I didn't know that. What the fuck? What? When did he get that?
When I was with,
and then Drake had to get an even more expensive watch. Bastard.
My wife, she was with us. And seeing every girl I had, I'd always make room for her where she could sleep. I made a little bed thing.
And then Floyd Mayweather spent $18 million on a fucking watch. What? Come on, man. That don't make no sense.
For her, inside it's our bed. And or she used to go out in the living room sometimes. But I did everything for her. Everything I could do for her, I did everything for her.
So you didn't blame her for putting you in prison?
No, because the lawyer, after they dropped the charges, said, you know.
Hey, man, that's the goal, man. I'm out here to charm everyone. I guess.
You put her under the prison now, right? I said, no, I'm a very person. Sure, this is what my exact.
Just playing my part, charming everybody left and right.
I want to sit with you, Dad. I want to go on.
And you love her.
And I love her. And I would.
Let me ask you this. Do you know?
We're talking old ladies, old men. Anyone's a target of my charm. And my wit. Dying boyfriend's last words. Oh, so this girlfriend killed her boyfriend. What else is new?
Check that artificial technology. Now we hosted.
Well, we'll see. I'm maybe yeah, one of these days I'll go up against some big bosses and charm them too. Who knows? But I've never really worked on charming anything. What? Low Kirkenuenly? What does that mean? Low Kirkenuenly.
Of defense. And by the time the truth
That's not a word. Come on, man.
starts to surface, detectives realize
Does that mean genuinely? Or what did you mean?
that this wasn't an accident after all. It was the beginning of one of the most tragic domestic murder cases the Florida Keys has ever seen.
It's bad, it's bad.
Sometimes typos throw my brain off and I'm like, is that a whole new word I didn't know?
You mentioned that he had said something to you.
Yeah, but it's like the only two things he said was, please call 911, and then he said the other part.
It was almost 3 a.m. on Saturday, June the 17th of 2023, when a call came in to the Moore County 911 system.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
My roommate is,
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kirk does put some spice up in it. I love trolling people on Instagram. All you have to do is say anything about Charlie Kirk and all the trolls and haters pop out of everywhere. It's funny.
pretty bad kid. He's hurt.
He's hurt?
He's hurt real bad, yeah. There's a lot of blood.
Okay, but what? A lot of blood? How did he get hurt?
I just got woken up. I just know I need some help.
Okay, I'm going to send someone right now. I need to know what's going on.
He's in a bottle of blood on the floor.
Okay, did he cut himself? Did he hurt himself?
Yeah.
He cut himself?
No, he's hurt. He's see.
Okay, I'm sending help, but how did he start bleeding?
I don't know.
Did someone cut him? Did someone...
No. I don't know what happened, but I really need someone.
Okay, is he conscious and breathing?
In and out. In and out.
He's in and out? Where is the blood coming from?
Brittany, where's he bleeding from? In his back.
In his back?
In his back.
Do you see any weapons? Do you see any weapons anywhere?
No, I do not.
A man was bleeding out, and his time was running short. Police officers and emergency crews were quickly dispatched to the scene. Maybe they could save him. Maybe they could find the answers to the questions of what had happened and who might be responsible.
Good, how are you? What's going on?
I got left blood on the floor.
Okay.
She woke me up like half an hour ago, 15 minutes ago. I'm not sure exactly, but I was sleeping. I don't know exactly what happened.
Okay, so you woke up and saw this?
I heard a scream.
You heard a scream?
She woke me up.
Who woke you up?
My roommate's girlfriend.
Okay.
And he's bleeding from somewhere in his back. I didn't hear a noise. I don't know what exactly happened. Okay. There's a lot of blood on the floor. He's like in and out of consciousness.
You couldn't see his back. So the scream woke you up, or it woke you?
No, I heard her come down the hall.
So his girlfriend
yelled my name, it's Jordan, and I
This is Jordan Kim. He's a commercial fisherman who works out in the Gulf of Mexico, fishing for grouper and snapper. He came back in a couple of days early from a 2-week trip and spent the evening drinking on the downstairs patio with his 2 roommates, Tyler Newlish and Brittany Holbrook, a couple. Things have gone terribly wrong tonight, and he doesn't seem to fully understand what happened. Upstairs, the scene is worse.
Come on. It's bad. Alright. Don't know what's going on. She's holding pressure on a wound on the back that she won't let anyone see. And I took this. That's why I haven't checked yet. I was waiting to make sure somebody else was here first.
Butt drones?
Now it's not. But there is one missing.
That's a new one. I hadn't heard that one.
Anguish as the EMTs go to work on her boyfriend of 9 months. His blood covers her hands. Their dogs are worked up and crying out of a back room, out of the way of the emergency workers. They get Brittany out so they can work on the young man who is barely holding on to life.
What's crazy is that it's taken them like a year to charge anybody with his death, murder, or whatever. Takes them so long to charge somebody.
Did you hear a gunshot? Huh?
No. I went to sleep.
Downstairs, as medics work to bring a gurney for Tyler, deputies begin talking with Jordan, the man who made the 911 call.
Alright, so this is about 30 minutes, you said, right?
I mean, it's probably more like 10, it just happened real fast.
Alright, I get it.
I was on the phone, I don't know, I was forward 911.
Okay, yeah.
And it was probably maybe 3 minutes before that.
Okay.
When I was woken up and trying to put it together, I didn't really realize what was all happening, and I still don't know. I just know he was bleeding from somewhere in his back.
So you, his girlfriend, what's his girlfriend's name?
Brittany.
Brittany, so you are
My head
Brittany's
hurts.
She yelled, Jordan, please help.
Killed the
Your
guy
name's
who
Jordan.
killed
Yes,
her.
okay. So Jordan, please help you come out of your room.
Killed him?
And then he just laying there on the ground.
She's holding him laying on the ground.
She's holding him. Did you see anything around, like a knife, any type of weapon at all?
I mean, I think pretty sure it's a pistol, but I think I heard a shot.
There's a pistol?
I'm pretty sure. But not in the hallway, or just like in the living room out in the open. I know he has one.
There's a lot more people they could charge, you know, I think. There's a lot more people who could, I mean, only one guy pulled the trigger, but everyone else could be wrapped up in it too. Charge them all, man.
On the house.
I woke it up and I got looked at him and talked to him for like, call it 1 or 2 seconds.
Charge them all.
Calling 911.
Yeah, no, that was a good thing to do. So you hear the scream from Brittany.
Yes.
You come out, and she's saying, Jordan, you know, help. He's laying on the ground, she's holding his head and holding his arm. How'd she hold
holding
it?
him by his back, trying to keep him upright a little bit.
So he's to sit him upright?
And I could see nothing on his stomach.
Only the blood was coming from his back.
I'm somewhere in his back.
But was it a shirt? He had a shirt on?
No, his shirt was off.
Could you see the wound on his back or no?
Yeah.
She was covering, like, because she was holding him up? Gotcha. Okay.
The best thing about boys is we aren't bitches like women.
Are they known to be violent before? No past at all?
No, I've never had anything weird with them, and I've lived with them for about a year, and I've known both of them for at least a few years.
I got it.
Jordan may have made the call to 911, but at least in the eyes of the officers upstairs, he is their leading suspect at the moment.
Where is he said gun was in the hallway or the room?
I saw one, I was on the floor, and I came over,
Yeah.
she was right on the floor, in between him. I saw some kind of holster.
Okay.
Is it right now? Yep. Okay.
Upstairs, a devastated and distraught Brittany is having a hard time piecing together the incident for detectives who have arrived on the scene.
You went to sleep and what happened?
I went to sleep.
Okay, and then you woke up?
I woke up.
Okay, and what did you see? This? Just him laying on the floor? Bleeding? Okay.
Is it okay?
I have no idea what's going on.
That's what's up, bro. Have a good walk. I might lay down for a minute and fucking get my head together.
Okay, were you, who is he to you?
That's my boyfriend.
That's your boyfriend? Who's that?
My roommate.
Your roommate? Okay. How long have y'all been living together?
9 months.
9 months? How long have you known him for?
2 years.
2 years.
This might be a good time to take a look at the relationships between the three residents of this home. Jordan and Tyler had met a couple of years before. Jordan, who had his own fishing boat, got to know Tyler, who worked for a local boat maker. At the time, Tyler was living with Brittany and her then boyfriend. After Brittany's relationship took a rocky turn, she left with Tyler and the two became a couple. Brittany earned her living by managing a board hut where people rented out paddle boards and kayaks near the beach. The two found this house to rent and invited Jordan to rent out a second bedroom there, splitting the $3,600 a month rent 3 ways. Jordan's job often took him out to sea for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, so it was an ideal situation for the young couple. For Jordan, it gave him a place to hang his hat and to rest when he came back to land. Now, their little place in paradise seems to have come crashing down. Downstairs, they're trying to get a better understanding of what happened from Jordan. They need to get his side of the story before bringing Brittany downstairs. In situations like this, it is vitally important that the witnesses don't get a chance to speak to each other. Any inconsistencies between their stories could be clues as to what actually happened. There's no sign of an intruder, and it seems unlikely that Tyler would have shot himself in the back and then discarded the gun nearby.
You didn't hear any gunshot, nothing like that?
Yeah, I had a TV on, quite quietly, and half asleep, but I think I would have heard something.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure that it would be the right close to here. I know some weird noises when we call
That's all I got for right now, right?
Upstairs, they are still trying to calm Brittany down and learn what she saw and heard. Brittany is extremely worried about Tyler and whether or not he's going to make it. She wants information, but the officers have to get as much information as they can as quickly as possible from her.
You okay?
I have no idea. The medical staff is doing what they're doing. Alright, now you can't go inside, okay? So you were asleep. What made you get up? Did you hear something?
I don't know.
You just woke up.
I don't know.
Okay. Was anybody else in the house besides your roommate, or?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. What time did you go to sleep? Don't know. Okay. Were you aware at all he had a gun or no?
I have no idea.
No. Okay. When you went to sleep, was he sleeping with you, or was he still up?
I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
Can I get your first and last name? What is it? You gotta.
It's okay.
Hey, like I said before, they're taking care of him. They're doing what they gotta do with him. All right? So you're something like that.
Finally, the paramedics have Tyler ready to leave. He's barely holding on to life, and they will have to get him down the stairs and to a nearby ambulance. If there's any chance at all for his survival at this point, it will require a near miracle.
What's going on?
They're taking him to the hospital.
Why?
because he was bleeding. What's my teenager? Forgot one money and doing for that water.
What is going on? My dogs are in there.
Yeah, just leave them be for now, okay? First name's gonna be Tyler, Tango, Yankee, Lima, Romeo, Echo, Romeo. Last name is gonna be, is it NU? NU, correct?
Now that Tyler and the medical workers are clear of the building, crime scene preservation becomes the biggest task for the law enforcement officers. A protesting Brittany is escorted downstairs, her dogs left behind, still in a closed-up back room of the house. Once downstairs, she'll be sat in one of the chairs there, away from Jordan. Sheriff's deputies will be assigned to watch them to prevent any cross-talking. As they wait, the sun begins to rise on a Saturday morning in the Florida Keys. Roosters begin to crow in the distance, and the time begins to weigh on the two. Jordan, used to long waits as a fisherman, handles it well and calms down. Brittany calms, but seems more tortured by what happened, and strangely, a bit put off by it all. Outside of the house, a mobile command center has been brought in for the detectives to work from. They are now better able to coordinate the information coming in and keep control of their crime scene. Then the information comes in from the local hospital that changes everything. Tyler has died from his wounds. The case has now gone from assault and potentially domestic violence to murder. After another check upstairs in the house, it's time for the two witnesses to be spoken with individually.
Life isn't a series of boxes to check. It's a landscape to explore. From the heights of the Sierras to the soul of the city, Reno Tahoe is all you. No limits. Get going at visitrenotahoe.com.
Bake Club it's an online baking club. Constant Contact was the only marketing tool that we needed, and it's the only marketing tool we've ever used.
The essence of driving is gripping the road, keeping momentum, and responding with precision. A brand by Hankook, a tire that fits. Laughing.
Jordan?
Yes.
Across to the sheriff's office. Let me chat for a little bit, sir. Has anyone here told you about your buddy?
No, we haven't asked you, but no.
Sorry, he passed away.
I had a feeling that's what everyone's saying.
Out of earshot from Brittany now, Jordan has more information to offer up. They begin by letting him reconstruct the night from the beginning, starting from when he had just gotten home.
Were your roommates upstairs home?
We were all downstairs until probably 10:30 is probably when I went up and started watching TV, something like that.
So you got home at 7 and just hung out in the patio there, underneath the stilts?
Yeah.
Were you guys all drinking?
Yeah.
How much did you guys have?
I mean, I can't speak for them. I don't think. I know Tyler had maybe 5 or 6 beers. I probably had a little more because that was when I was working on the boat earlier in the day. But it's definitely less than 5. And her, I don't know.
Is that average for you guys?
I mean, for me, similar, but for him, no, not as often.
Okay. How often does he drink?
I've like a couple of weeks. He's had a really bad cold, so I know he hasn't for at least a couple of weeks, I guess. I just got back the night before last, and I was gone for 10 days, so.
Sure. Okay. Do they have any problems? How's the relationship?
I mean, it's usually pretty good, but they definitely have their little issues here and there.
Do you remember what the latest issue was?
I don't know what causes it usually, besides usually drinking mixed between the two of them. It's usually her side more than his. Like, I'm not like 20 years forever, but that just, since I've lived with them, I maybe saw like 3 somewhat yelling arguments, like nothing physical ever, like, but there was one other time where, like, she woke me up in the middle of the night, similar to this, but obviously, nothing had happened, you know? And it had nothing to do with him, she was just out of her mind, like, I didn't.
Well, I don't usually get this big when it's on television. But I really, this is what's so great about this, because my speech was to say, look, it is on television. Robin, would you come up and give the funniest acceptance speech I ever? What Jack is trying to say here is he's so happy to be here he could drop a log, really. Right now, he wants to thank Jeffrey Katzenberg for the lens and the seats, and way to go, hopefully Shaq kicked his ass tonight. But Jack, say it more, Buddha, because you dressed up
Yeah, but that happened, I kind of just took a bit of a wash, and like we talked about the next day, and it was like a joke or a broken cell phone that I think she threw his, or vice versa, I forget exactly. I didn't really see it, I just heard it. And, but that was normally it's perfect, you know, I just.
When you said she was out of her mind that night, what do you mean? Like,
Just, certain people that drink seem to not handle it as well, or whether it's a long day drinking and the two of them both drinking together all day, I just sense, you know, just out of her mind as of not normal herself.
Sensing a troubling pattern, they press Jordan for more information.
Like, not functioning properly, just not making sense talking, stuff like that.
do you think that the alcohol, or do you think there's something else going on?
No, I think it's probably mostly the alcohol. Because the only time that it's like when they go out on a little boat and they're out together the whole day on weekend. And then they come back and drink a little bit here, and I feel like that whole day thing is just real good.
Yeah, all day out drinking in the sun on the boat and come back and keep going.
Yep.
So when you got home last night, were they downstairs already?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And they were already drinking?
She was, he wasn't.
How was the mood when you
Great. It was great. Everybody was getting along fine. I felt like it was a normal good night, you know?
And you were downstairs drinking until what time about?
I'd say around 10:30-ish was my guess. And I went and watched a couple episodes of TV, and I was pretty well asleep when I heard her screaming, and she was the one who woke me up. And I don't know how to even picture it. It's making me sick. So I can't say what happened because I don't know. But he was coherent here when I came by him. And it's seeing blood. It's just, I saw a pistol. I don't even know what happened. I just saw a lot of them. But I did see a gun sitting there in the holster, which I'm pretty sure was his. I never heard the shot. I think that's what happened. I didn't get woken up by that. I got woken up by her yelling. And instantly I tried to look at him in the face, and that's when I called 911. Like, I didn't know what happened because I couldn't see anything on the front side. I might have saw blood around him. So I knew there was something in the backside, you know. And the little bit I got, I'm like, I didn't see it. I don't know what happened, but I heard him say that they shot in his back.
They try to get Jordan to focus on those last moments with Tyler.
When you first got up to him, how with it was he?
What's that?
How coherent was he when you first got up?
Very, very little. He was trying to move a little bit, just talked a little bit, but it was mostly you could just see it, and he would try to move his head, and his head would just fall back, and I could see him try to open his eyes, but it was definitely not couldn't stand up on his own by any means or anything like that.
And where is she?
She was behind him, kind of cradling him.
So he was on his back. Did she lift him up to get behind him, or was she just?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
A couple times. And that's when, yeah, I knew it was pretty bad. It's she kind of was trying to get together to wake up, and he fell, and his head hit tile, not kind of hard, but like I could tell he wasn't in control of his body that well.
And then he reiterated the damning statement.
You mentioned that he had said something to you.
Yeah, but it's like, I didn't see it, but I just know what he said. Because I was trying to figure out what the hell happened. And I'm pretty sure he said that they shot me in the back.
Where was she when he said that?
Right there.
Did you notice anything about her? And how long after he made that statement did the first patrol guys show up?
A minute to 2 minutes. It was right when I was on the film.
Did he say anything else? Was he still?
No, he did say one other thing. Like when I first said, like, Tyler, what happened? What happened? He's like, just call 911. And that's what I called. And then he said the other part. But that's the only two things he said was, please call 911, which I was already going to do, but it was like.
Jordan would willingly provide a written version of his statement and be subjected to swab test for gunshot residue. The detectives would then open up one of the police vehicles and give him a place to sit out of the sun. In the meantime, they also sat down to speak with Brittany. The time alone downstairs has given her some clarity, and now she begins telling a story of waking up in the night to an aggressive and angry Tyler. She has told one deputy that Tyler grabbed her by the throat and attempted to strangle her while keeping her pinned against a bedroom wall.
So, at this point, we've kind of remembered that you're fighting to survive at this point. You said that it was getting hard to breathe when he was choking you?
I don't understand why any of that is happening. Like, I don't understand why any of this is happening.
I know. I mean, it seems like crazy, violent encounter. When you were up against the wall there, where were you? Like still next to the bed? No? How far away from the bed do you think you were?
I was on the other wall by the window.
Wall by like the back window? And where's the bed in relation to that back window? We haven't been inside to check it out yet. So which way does the bed go? This way in the house? The head is over here, okay? And so the bed is over here, and the back window's there. Okay, where are you? On the wall, okay. Do you think you were within arm's reach of the nightstand?
I think I was trying to get away.
Sure.
And I just don't know why or what was going on, but I think he just kept trying to strangle me over and over again.
Like, you felt him squeezing over and over again, or did you get away and then he grabbed you again over and over again? All right.
The detective shows empathy for Brittany. He tries to keep her telling the story.
And I can see how you're doing anything you can to get away from him.
He's the most kind person.
Well, not at this moment. I mean, you're in fight or flight mode right there. If someone's strangling you.
He was fucking strangling me.
I mean, that's crazy.
He did it before.
At that point, it doesn't matter who it is to you. You're trying to get out of there alive.
Could this have been a case of self-defense rather than murder? The detective keeps offering this option to her.
Did you reach over the nightstand and grab the gun to scare him?
I don't know. I would never want to hurt him.
She's
ever.
fucking guilty.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I did. I don't remember. I remember holding him and kissing him.
Guilty.
Because I'll tell you, if I I'm gonna fight for my life, and I can reach over and grab a gun or a nightstand.
I would never shoot a person. I would never like.
Well, it's a pretty good way to scare somebody off. Even just holding it, grabbing it. I'm not saying you have to grab it to shoot him, but if you can reach it, and he knows you have it, you might back up.
She don't know nothing. I think you do know.
Was this just a momentary lapse of reason for Tyler, or was he secretly a monster? The detective had to find out, but there were inconsistencies popping up, not just in her story, but in the physical realities that he could see.
He's never had any violent tendencies in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been
What happened?
streaming for 2 hours.
He did that? How long ago was that? Okay. Did you call us?
I was gonna just get away from him and go back to bed, and he just blacked out. But
How did you get away from him that time?
I had pushed him off me, and I think I scratched him on his neck or something.
Was he that drunk last night?
I don't know. He switches, and he hasn't really drank since that last time. And I just don't know. Yeah, I would assume so, because he drank a lot, I would say, for sure.
You think that's what switches him from kind, cuddly boyfriends, kind of crazy?
The only thing, he's a wonderful human being, like your lives. He would never hurt anyone unless he was defending his family. You know? Never. It's not him at all.
So the last time he was super drunk, and this time he was drinking for the first time in a while.
So now we have a new picture forming. Could Tyler have tried to strangle Brittany in a drunken rage, only to have her shoot him in self-defense? That would dovetail in with Jordan saying Tyler's last words to him were that Brittany had shot him. Something still wasn't sitting right. The detective dives back into Brittany's story, trying to really discern how intense the fight became between the two before the shooting.
When you were up against the wall, did you see a look in his eye that you didn't remember? That was weird?
I don't know. He kept screaming at me, saying things that, like, weren't making sense. Like, calling me, like, you slut, and saying that, like, he was gonna teach me a lesson, and that, like, just shit that made no sense at all. And he was just like, look at what you're doing to me. And I was like, I'm not doing anything at all. This makes no sense. It's not making any sense. Just go back to bed. Like, and I'm just screaming, like, trying to make noise so that Jordan could hear me. Anyone, like, I don't know what to do at that point.
Sure.
Fuck. Tyler never hurt me. Like, it's not him. What you did.
There's a physical piece of evidence that is telling a different story than the one Brittany is sharing. He's giving her every chance to dig a deeper hole for herself because he's noticed for all of her story of a mighty and life-threatening struggle, she shows no signs of one. Noticing there was no bruising around her neck, nor scratches, her eyes showed no signs of petechia, the breaking of tiny blood vessels in the whites of the eyes, and the eyelids caused by strangulation. In fact, the only signs of hand-to-hand injuries was a swollen and blackened eye that officers noted on Tyler as he was being worked on. There really wasn't any question left in the detective's mind at this point. Not only had Brittany shot Tyler, but her story of self-defense was not stacking up. Brittany would be booked and held for trial with a bond set at $750,000. It would be late February 2025 before she would stand trial for the second-degree murder with a firearm of Tyler Newlish. During the investigative process leading up to the trial, numerous friends of the couple would be contacted to find out about the people involved, their lifestyles, and the love they shared. They painted a very different portrait of the couple than Brittany did.
Some people yard because it's their passion and their job. That's why we trust our livelihood to the best-in-class power of Echo X Series.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck.
Putting them together with the right people, like the best lenders, like people at CCCU.
Get your next home loan from a lender local realtors trust at CCCU.
What's the perfect family trip?
Who are you?
Penny, Priceline's AI travel assistant.
How about Eco Resort, free breakfast?
How are they getting away with fucking ads these days? Make no damn sense.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, my name is Detective Scott Costa. I work for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. I'm trying to contact Maritza Pietrobono.
Oh, yeah.
Is this Marissa?
Yeah.
Hey, Marissa. I just want to see if you might have a couple minutes to chat with me about Tyler Newlish.
Oh, okay.
Can you tell me a little bit about the relationship between Tyler and Brittany?
Yeah, so I knew Tyler. I had met him a few years back when I visited Key West. I did not know Brittany very well. I had only met her, I think, one or two previous times, briefly, and it was all close to the date, that she murdered him. Mm-hmm. And I had hung out with her that week, really close. I think it was within a few days of the incident happening.
She would go on to detail an afternoon spent with the woman where Brittany showed up and then drove them to a local bar. It was on the way out she realized that Brittany was heavily intoxicated. At the bar, a sloppily drunk Brittany would turn vicious and then begin talking about her ex-boyfriend.
So we went to Hogfish, and so we were at Hogfish, and she was talking about her ex-boyfriend, and very aggressively and very angrily, and talking about their relationship, how much she hated him, how, she wanted to kill him, and saying all this crazy stuff. And she was crying about how Tyler saved her. She loved Tyler so much, and I was like, I agree, I love Tyler. The bartender's looking at me, I'm kind of giving my side eye, like, yeah, I need to get her home. And I did not want her to drive anymore, so I was saying, that, Tyler could come pick us up, or DJ was offering us to get us an Uber. My boyfriend is DJ. So I made sure that she messaged Tyler to come pick us up there, and she did. And she kept dropping her purse on the floor, things like that. So we walked over to the docks, and when we were there, I made sure that she called Tyler again, and I actually spoke with Tyler, and I was like, Tyler, I'm so sorry if you could come. And he was so nice about it. He was just a doll, and really, kind of sweet, and was like, yeah, of course I'll come, pick you guys up. And she was just so hammered at the docks as well. It was like, I got we did not even drink the beers at Hogfish, and then I got us 2 light beers at the docks, knowing that I didn't want her to drink, I didn't want her to do any shots or have any more alcohol. And when we were there, she was crying to me again about how much she loved Tyler. He saved her life. She was so happy to be with him. She was kind of hanging all over me, almost trying to kiss me, just very intoxicated behavior. The bartenders were kind of laughing. I was laughing, saying, okay, we're going to go home now. And Tyler picked us up.
And then the story turned again. This time, Brittany's alcohol-fueled anger turned on Tyler.
And when we were walking back, I was so happy to see him.
and we were walking in like the parking lot area, and she ran and jumped on his back, like being playful, trying to jump on it, but he almost fell because, you know, we didn't know it was coming. She was like a raging bull, like went and jumped on him, he almost fell over, and was like, oh, come on, Britt, remember, you know, you did that before, and you almost, you know, I fell on my face or something. And then she got really pissed off and was like, you're a fucking faggot, excuse my language. And she was punching him in the arm and calling him a faggot, saying, come on, you can't like pick me up and stuff. And I was like, oh, I was trying to make it funny because it was uncomfortable. I was like, oh, everyone's gay in Key West, so we're fine, you know, like making jokes. And Tyler was laughing, I was laughing. And we finally got Brittany in the car, she sat in the front seat, and I walked around, I gave Tyler a hug, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm not, you know, drunk, I'm not intoxicated, I did not get her this way. I didn't want him thinking like we went out and got all fucked up, because that was the case. And he said, no, Marissa, it's totally fine. Like, you know, she was drinking before, you know, this isn't my first time, it's fine, you know, I'm not mad at you or anything, you're not in trouble. I was like, okay.
This kind of behavior would be remarked on time and time again by other friends and acquaintances. As detectives spoke with each, a picture became very clear that Tyler, far from being a domestic abuser, was actually the victim of one. A pattern became very apparent. When Brittany drank, she drank to excess, and when she did, Tyler became her punching bag, each attack becoming more and more vicious. And most times, the anger wasn't stemming from him, but from her past relations, many of whom may have suffered her wrath in their own time. When it finally came to trial, Brittany's defense attorneys argued that her actions were the result of a trauma that she had suffered early in her life. The argument did not sway the jury in the week-long trial. It took them less than an hour to find her guilty. She would be sentenced to 40 years in prison. Due to the use of a firearm in a crime, she will not be eligible to receive any time off of the sentence for the first 25 years that she serves. Brittany is now serving her time at the Homestead Correctional Institution. It's far from the life she probably had envisioned for herself in the Florida Keys, but her drinking and her rage took that away from her, as sure as the promising life was taken away from Tyler Newlish. We would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of Tyler Newlish, a young man taken far too soon.
How does this end regardless? Like, do I go and sit in jail?
Well, we have to do our investigation and find out who did this to him.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Guilty, bitch. Cops rescue died trucking with themselves before. The path to authenticity. Black Death. Senior citizen attacks police after being told he's getting evicted. Yep. Can't believe the
In 1885, a young man methodically destroys the symbols of his expected future. Theological textbooks scatter across the floor of his room, their pages torn and trampled. An acceptance letter to seminary lies in half, its promise of religious certainty rejected with deliberate force.
I need to lay down for a little bit.
The morning mist clung to the fields outside Paris in the spring of 1315, but the peasants who emerged from their cramped cottages found no comfort in the familiar sight. The grain stalks that should have stood tall and golden lay flattened against the waterlogged earth, victims of the relentless rains that had pounded northern Europe for months. This scene repeated itself across thousands of villages from England to Poland, marking the beginning of what historians would later call the Great Famine, a catastrophe that would fundamentally weaken European society and create the perfect conditions for an even greater disaster to follow. Europe in the early 14th century stood at a demographic precipice. The population had grown dramatically during the medieval warm period, with estimates suggesting that by 1300, the continent supported between 70 and 80 million inhabitants, a number not seen since the height of the Roman Empire, and one that would not be reached again until the 16th century. This population boom had pushed medieval agricultural technology to its absolute limits. Every available piece of arable land had been pressed into service, including marginal soils on hillsides and in forests that previous generations had wisely left uncultivated. The agricultural system that supported this massive population operated on razor-thin margins. Medieval farming techniques, while sophisticated for their time, remained fundamentally limited by available technology and knowledge. The three-field system dominated northern European agriculture, where peasants divided their holdings into three sections, one planted with winter crops like wheat or rye, another with spring crops such as oats or barley, and the third left fallow to recover fertility. This system, combined with the heavy wheeled plough and the horse collar, had enabled the agricultural revolution that supported population growth, but it had reached its productive ceiling. Peasant families typically survived on a diet dominated by grain, bread, porridge, and ale formed the foundation of their nutrition. A single harvest failure could spell disaster for entire communities. Most households maintained grain stores sufficient for only a few months, and even prosperous peasants rarely held reserves lasting more than a year. The margin between survival and starvation remained perilously narrow for the vast majority of Europe's population. When the rains began in the spring of 1315, they seemed like a divine punishment. Contemporary chroniclers described downpours that lasted for weeks, turning fields into quagmires and making normal agricultural work impossible. The monk John of Trocolo wrote of floods that swept away entire villages, while the annals of Bermondsey recorded grain prices rising to levels that would have seemed impossible just months earlier. In England, wheat prices increased by 800% between 1315 and 1317. Similar price spikes occurred across the continent, from the Low Countries to the German states. The demographic consequences proved devastating. Historical records from English manors show mortality rates climbing to 15% above normal levels during the worst years of the famine. In some regions, particularly in northern France and the Low Countries, death rates may have reached 25% of the population. Children and the elderly died first, but working-age adults also succumbed in large numbers to diseases that thrived among malnourished populations. Typhus, dysentery, and various fevers swept through communities already weakened by hunger. This crisis fundamentally altered European society's resilience. The generation that survived the Great Famine carried physical and psychological scars that would make them more vulnerable to future catastrophes. Malnutrition during childhood stunted growth and compromised immune systems, creating a population more susceptible to epidemic disease. Archaeological evidence from cemetery excavations reveals decreased average height and increased bone pathologies among individuals who lived through the famine years. As Europe struggled with these internal crises, the continent's integration into vast trade networks continued to accelerate. The Silk Road, that legendary chain of trading routes connecting east and west, had evolved far beyond its classical origins. By the early 14th century, a complex web of commercial relationships linked European merchants with traders from the Black Sea, Central Asia, India, and China. Italian merchant houses, particularly those from Venice, Genoa, and Pisa, maintained permanent trading posts from Constantinople to Kaffa on the Crimean Peninsula. These trade routes carried far more than silk and spices. Venetian galleys returning from the east brought Chinese porcelain, Indian pepper, and Central Asian furs, but they also transported less visible cargo, the rats, fleas, and microorganisms that thrived in the holds of merchant vessels. The same commercial networks that brought prosperity to European cities would soon serve as highways for disease transmission. Caffa, the Genoese trading colony on the Black Sea, exemplified the interconnected nature of 14th century commerce. This fortified port city housed Italian merchants alongside Greek, Armenian, and Mongol traders. Caravans arrived regularly from Samarkand and Bukhara, carrying goods that had originated in China or India. The city's warehouses stored vast quantities of grain from the Ukrainian steppes, destined for Constantinople and the Italian city-states. Ships departed regularly for Venice, Genoa, and other Mediterranean ports, their holds packed with Eastern luxuries and their crews representing a dozen different nationalities. Urbanization accelerated throughout the 13th and early 14th centuries, creating population concentrations that would prove particularly vulnerable to epidemic disease. Paris, with perhaps 200,000 inhabitants, ranked among Europe's largest cities, while London housed approximately 80,000 residents. Italian cities like Florence, Venice, and Milan each supported populations exceeding 100,000. These urban centres depended entirely on complex supply chains that brought grain from distant rural areas and luxury goods from across the known world. Medieval cities presented ideal conditions for disease transmission. Houses crowded together along narrow, unpaved streets that served as open sewers. Most urban dwellers lived in multi-storey buildings with entire families occupying single rooms. Sanitation remained primitive. Human waste was typically thrown into the streets or nearby rivers, while animal refuse from horses, pigs, and chickens accumulated in courtyards and alleys. Wells often became contaminated with sewage, and clean water remained a constant concern. The climate itself conspired against European populations during this period. The medieval warm period, which had enabled population growth and agricultural expansion from roughly 950 to 1250, was giving way to cooler, more unpredictable weather patterns that historians now call the Little Ice Age. This climatic transition manifested in shorter growing seasons, more frequent crop failures, and increased storm activity that disrupted both agriculture and maritime trade. Temperature reconstructions based on tree ring data, ice cores, and historical records indicate that average temperatures began declining around 1300, with particularly severe cooling episodes in the 1310s and 1340s. The growing season in northern Europe shortened by several weeks compared to the previous century, forcing farmers to abandon marginal agricultural lands and concentrate on more reliable, lower altitude fields. Alpine glaciers advanced, destroying high altitude settlements and pastures that had been cultivated during warmer periods. These climatic changes affected more than agriculture. Colder temperatures and increased storm activity made maritime trade more dangerous and unpredictable. Ships faced longer, more hazardous journeys, while port cities dealt with more frequent flooding and storm damage. The Baltic Sea froze more regularly, disrupting the lucrative trade in timber, furs, and amber that connected northern and western Europe. Political instability compounded these environmental and demographic challenges. The 100 Years' War, which erupted in 1337 when Edward III of England claimed the French throne, would consume enormous resources and create massive population displacements over the following decades. The conflict's early phases saw English armies ravaging the French countryside, destroying crops, burning villages, and forcing peasants to flee their homes. The Battle of Crécy in 1346 demonstrated the devastating effectiveness of English longbowmen against French heavy cavalry, but the campaign that preceded it left a trail of destruction across northern France. Warfare in the 14th century involved more than pitched battles between armoured knights. Armies lived off the land through systematic plunder, a practice euphemistically called foraging. English chevauchés, mounted raids designed to destroy enemy resources, deliberately targeted agricultural infrastructure, burning mills, slaughtering livestock, and destroying stored grain. These tactics created refugee populations that crowded into fortified towns, straining urban resources and creating ideal conditions for disease transmission. The Holy Roman Empire faced its own succession crises following the death of Henry VII in 1313. The resulting power struggle between Louis IV of Bavaria and Frederick the Fair of Austria paralysed imperial authority and encouraged local conflicts throughout the German states. Italy remained fragmented among competing city-states, papal territories and foreign claimants. With warfare endemic throughout the peninsula, these political conflicts drained resources that might otherwise have been used to address economic and social problems. Military expenditures consumed enormous portions of royal revenues, forcing monarchs to debase their currencies and impose increasingly heavy taxes on already struggling populations. The English wool trade, which had provided crucial export revenues, faced disruption from continental warfare. French agricultural regions that had supplied grain to urban markets lay devastated by military campaigns. Monetary systems throughout Europe showed signs of strain as precious metal supplies failed to keep pace with economic growth. Silver mines in Bohemia and the German states, which had fueled economic expansion during the 12th and 13th centuries, showed declining output. The absence of significant gold deposits in Europe meant that monetary expansion depended on trade with North Africa and the Middle East, relationships that remained vulnerable to political and military disruption. Banking houses, particularly the great Italian firms like the Bardi and Peruzzi companies of Florence, had extended credit throughout Europe to finance everything from royal wars to agricultural improvements. These institutions faced increasing strain as borrowers, including the kings of England and France, struggled to service their debts. The interconnected nature of medieval banking meant that defaults in one region could trigger cascading failures throughout the European financial system. Social tensions accompanied these economic pressures. Urban artisans faced competition from rural craftsmen who had been driven from their villages by warfare or economic hardship. Guild systems that had regulated production and maintained social stability came under pressure as traditional hierarchies broke down. Peasant communities, already struggling with agricultural difficulties, faced increased demands for military service and taxation to fund ongoing conflicts. The Church, which had provided social stability and ideological coherence throughout the High Middle Ages, faced its own institutional crisis. The Avignon papacy, which had removed the papal court from Rome to southern France in 1309, created confusion about legitimate religious authority. This Babylonian captivity of the papacy coincided with increasing criticism of clerical corruption and growing challenges to traditional religious teachings. By the 1340s, European society resembled a structure under enormous stress, with multiple fault lines threatening its stability. Demographic pressure had pushed agricultural systems beyond their sustainable limits. Climate change was making food production increasingly unreliable. Political conflicts were draining resources and creating massive population displacements. Trade networks that brought prosperity also created pathways for disease transmission. Urban concentrations that represented the pinnacle of medieval civilization also provided ideal conditions for epidemic outbreaks. The stage was set for catastrophe, though few contemporary observers could have predicted the scale of the disaster that would soon engulf their world. The complex interactions between environmental stress, demographic pressure, political instability, and economic strain had created conditions of unprecedented vulnerability. When disease finally arrived from the east, it would find European populations uniquely susceptible to its devastating effects. While European society strained under the multiple pressures of famine, warfare, and climatic change, a microscopic killer was stirring to life thousands of miles away in the remote highlands of Central Asia. Deep within the burrow systems that honeycomb the Tian Shan Mountains, and the vast Mongolian steppes, colonies of marmots, ground squirrels, and other rodents harbored an ancient bacterium that had evolved alongside its hosts for millennia. This organism, later classified by scientists as Yersinia pestis, possessed the remarkable ability to manipulate both its mammalian hosts and the fleas that fed upon them, creating a transmission system of devastating efficiency. The bacterium itself measures barely 2 micrometers in length, appearing under microscopic examination as a small rod-shaped organism with rounded ends. Despite its diminutive size, Y. pestis represents one of nature's most sophisticated biological weapons. The organism produces a protein called plasminogen activator that prevents blood clotting in its victims, while simultaneously manufacturing toxins that destroy tissue and compromise immune system function. Most crucially for its transmission cycle, the bacterium produces a biofilm that blocks the digestive tract of infected fleas, forcing them to regurgitate contaminated blood back into their bite wounds. The natural reservoirs for this pathogen existed primarily among the burrowing rodent populations of the Central Asian highlands. Archaeological evidence from grave sites in the Tian Shan region reveals elevated mortality rates among human populations during the 1320s, suggesting that the disease had begun spilling over from its animal hosts into human communities. Chinese administrative records from the Yuan dynasty, though fragmented, document unusual patterns of death and abandonment in settlements along the Silk Road trade routes during this same period. The marmot populations of the Altai Mountains and surrounding regions had maintained stable and zootic cycles of plague for centuries, possibly millennia. These large ground squirrels, weighing up to 8 kilograms when fully grown, lived in extensive burrow networks that could house dozens of individuals. Their fleas, primarily Oropsilla silantiewi, had co-evolved with both the marmots and the plague bacterium, creating a balanced ecosystem where the disease persisted without causing catastrophic die-offs. Local human populations had learned to recognize the warning signs of plague epizootics among marmot colonies, the appearance of dead animals near burrow entrances, the sudden silence of normally chattering colonies, the desperate emergence of sick animals during daylight hours. The delicate balance of this system began shifting during the early decades of the 14th century. Climate reconstructions from ice cores and tree ring data indicate that the Central Asian steppes experienced significant environmental changes during the 1310s and 1320s. Temperature fluctuations and altered precipitation patterns disrupted the normal population dynamics of rodent communities. Some colonies experienced population booms that increased contact between infected and susceptible animals, while others faced environmental stress that weakened their resistance to disease. Chinese historical sources, particularly the Yuan Shi, provide fragmentary but compelling evidence of unusual mortality patterns during the 1320s and 1330s. Administrative records from provinces along the northern and western frontiers describe abandoned settlements, uncollected taxes, and requests for emergency grain supplies. The Gazetteer of Shaanxi Province mentions villages where 9 out of 10 households died during the winter of 1331 to 1332, while similar accounts emerge from Hebei and other northern regions. Archaeological investigations at sites along the ancient Silk Road have uncovered evidence supporting these historical accounts.